Welcome back to the Adventurers of Celestia, the Coming Storm. We're a group of friends that come together for the sake of enjoying complex and interesting worlds that with what we believe to be intriguing characters. Some believe more so than others, as was iterated last week. Kyle. Everyone, do say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Apparently Max is too cool to
Oh,
go ahead and say hi.
What?
So,
Max is not the 1%.
Excuse you.
a quick update. Cody won't be joining us for future games because apparently he's lame, but for more real, he has too many life obligations to be able to hang out with us. So, oh well. And we've also did a few nice little updates to the stream, so if you want to go ahead and talk and give us feedback, feel free to do so. We'll always have it forevermore. So, with that, onto the main show. A quick recap. Last week, Beetle, Richard, Ein, and Laura trekked their way through the wastes of Yaren and Verizzo. They did come across a large, strange undead army that reacted very strangely to Beetle, but gave barely any birth. Eventually, they did come across a bit of a fortress that was set up by some Empyrean scout troops, but it was quickly revealed that they've engaged in a little kidnapping, but allegedly it was for their own defense. Either way, the group did make their way to Lullin, where they discovered in the inner city of Lullin that it is very, very, I wouldn't say decrepit, but corrupt. They engage in sex and drugs and murder. You name the vice, they indulge in it. So much to the point that as soon as it was revealed that there was essentially a titty bar with unlimited drinks, Richard ended up disappearing and the group made chase. Eventually they did come across Richard, providing some very questionable advice to who's been serving alcohol. So with that, we can go ahead and begin. The three of you, as you open up the door, after hearing an explosion of a shot glass flying everywhere, Richard cursing out a man, "You cannot give us will like that. It is completely unacceptable. People deserve better. You can't water it down." He turns as the door opens. "Oh, hi guys."
You
Richard?
probably also not recognize me, remember? Because, 28 disguise.
Richard,
I
what?
set you down on the ground as well because I've been holding you this entire time. I'm gonna set Ein down.
Alright. So, Ein, you're put down. You see that Richard, he's a bit tipsy, but he still seems collected enough.
That's not Richard. You always go straight to drunk.
Richard, what on earth are you doing to this poor man?
Well, you see, this man has been serving the worst kind of alcohol. Whiskey, which is really whiskey, but it's watered down. This is unacceptable.
That is horrible. Why would anyone do such a thing?
Have you?
I have a very straight face. I'm obviously being sarcastic right now.
I know, right?
Have you actually had any of the whiskey, Richard?
He goes up and shows and you just hear the sloshing of a half-empty jug. Of course, I've been trying it with all sorts of different other drinks as well, and it is not one that pairs with anything. The guy, he's just a little bit pale and shocked from the fact that he was nice enough to be donating all this whiskey. But, for whatever reason, he's getting an earful from Richard.
I thought it was whiskey.
Laura, perhaps you should take care of Richard, and I'll talk to the man.
You see the man just nodding.
Please. I very much appreciate it.
Well, I do have
This
places
way,
that-
sir. It's kind of went towards the door.
Yeah, lead and
We'll
Richard
do
that
that
way.
for you.
So, let me tell you, there is a right way and a wrong way to go ahead and prepare a whiskey. He puts his arm around you, Ein, as he's following or leading. It's hard to really tell as he's taking you away.
I'm trying to hold him up for the most part. Like, do tell. Please, explain the best way to make whiskey, please.
All right. It really starts with the growing season. You really want to go ahead and start a little later.
I also want to point out that he only kind of understands what I'm saying at this point, remember? We don't have a translator.
It's Richard.
True. He probably doesn't even realize that we're talking. He's just talking because he sees mouths moving.
That's
Yeah, the blind drunk sounds about right. Sounds
Yep.
like Richard.
So, as
Richard, are aware that we do have rum back at the hotel room, the tavern room.
look, this is free.
The rum is free as well.
No. The rum at home we paid for.
No.
And it's probably going to be free to me anyways, but this is really free.
But it's watered down.
And this is why I'm filing a complaint
With who?
with Barry.
Richard, just drink the wine!
Oh, I'm not going to go ahead and waste my energy on that. I only got so much space. Actually, he's not there, so you're
Oh,
just
they've
with Barry.
left? Oh, they've left. Okay.
Yes, we left.
Yeah, I'm leading Richard towards the stairs.
I'm making sure he doesn't do anything.
All right. As you guys are also walking down the hall, you see a man kind of walking with a little bit of a limp, but still with a proud smile on his face. It's a half-naked orcish man. So you are now alone with Barry. He puts his hands down.
Oh man. I have no idea what that was all about. You just started screaming and yelling.
I am so sorry, Barry. Our friend has a bit of an alcohol problem, you see. I'm not sure exactly what caused it, per se.
He just came barging in.
Yes, he's very adamant about it. I understand that this was your bachelor party.
Oh, yes. I'm getting married.
Oh, congratulations to who?
Oh, it's a very, very fine young lady. She goes by the name of Isabel.
Oh, that's quite nice. So, you see, Barry, again, I would like to apologize for my friend's outburst. I certainly hope that you don't, see him as the representation of our group in any way.
You know, we all got drunk in the family.
Yep, definitely the drunk in the family.
And me, being the largest producer on this land, I dare say, of whiskey and beer, I know a lot of good drunks.
Oh. Would any of those drunks perhaps live in the, I don't know, political district?
Of course. The nice thing about rich people, they drink a lot. They drink way more than the poor ever do,
Of course, they can afford it.
naturally.
Well,
But why do you ask?
Well-
That's a very leading question.
of course. My friends and I, were sent here from Jewel, I'm a representative of Jewel, to figure out exactly why it is we've lost contact with Lullin. It seems like everything's okay here, but perhaps the political district might, prove otherwise.
Well, lots of crazy things happen there, depending on the time of day. Don't know if you heard what goes on in the after hours.
No, please, explain.
You haven't heard about the orgies? They're legendary.
I mean, anyone can have an orgy in their basement.
Well, as far as I'm aware, everyone is there voluntarily, minus the slaves. they don't get a say.
Of course they don't. They're slaves. Say, when did Lullin become like this? When did the orgies start? Do you remember?
Oh, the first orgies. I think it was a good, 45 years ago.
I don't mean like the first orgies. I just mean the inherent debauchery in Lullin.
Oh, we've always been a fucked up bunch. We've always tried to find new, crazy things to take the edge off.
Of course. Well, if that's the case, then why choose to lose contact with Jewel whenever, of course, we know all the best ways to get fucked up.
Sounds like a challenge.
It might be, but not currently.
So, are you an opium junkie, or do you have a preference for synthetics?
I prefer alcohol myself.
You're a boring one, I see. I mean, small children get their first beers when they're 4 or 5 years old.
It's a little different to Jewel.
If you say so. That's all I know is that you guys are a bunch of hippies over there.
So, got any friends in the political district we might be able to visit to speak on of this matter? It's an urgent request from Jewel.
I might know someone. Make it worth my while.
And how might I make it worth your while?
So you're leaning in. He just eyes you very carefully.
I know we're in a very questionable place, but I happen to swing for another team, good sir.
That's fair. Okay.
But I'm talking money, favors, influence. Do you have anything of substantial value in that regards?
His body.
How much gold was it that you said that I had? Beetle still doesn't know how, everything works.
Thank you.
You got about 80 gold.
Okay. Oh, it was like 80 of each, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, and then I still have the rest of my rubies. Ooh, okay, nice. Well, I'm still not exactly sure how currency works here. I was given quite a bit of these metal coins.
Yeah.
I assume that's the currency that you folks use here?
Predominantly.
Predominantly. And, what kind of price would that information be, sir?
You're looking for an actual, contact. Nobody just meets on just because you happen to know a name. I know a lot of names. You need an introduction.
Of course.
And that's what you really want to buy. And let me tell you, I can probably put you in contact with one of the counselors that would at least put you in start of your investigation, I would think. But let's have a starting price tag of maybe 1,500 of those metal piece thingies.
I don't think I have 1,500 of any of these metal piece thingies.
It's a lot of
They're
metal to
all
carry around.
multicolored.
They typically come in bronze, silver, and gold, sir. Or copper? Yeah, copper.
I think I can offer you some great influence. Perhaps instead.
Influence?
A friend of mine, I believe, works for Imperia. And you're a great exporter of whiskey, aren't you?
Of course.
Of course.
I make it. I hope I'm a supporter.
How would you like your company, to sell alcohol to the troops of Imperia?
Are we talking exclusivity contracts?
You'd have to hash that out with them, but I know that they have quite a high place in the church. You might as well play exclusivity as far as wine goes during communion.
I'm not too terribly familiar, but being able to have access to new markets might be worthwhile.
Of course it is. And that market would be incredibly loyal if you were able to give them an exclusive product.
Sounds intriguing. Tell you what, if you're able to introduce me to this person.
Do you
And-
speak Empyrean? There's a bit of a translation problem.
No, I only speak common, good sir.
Oh, I understand. Perhaps I will, there will be a roundabout conversation, but I can certainly introduce you to someone.
Alright,
Contact for contact?
if it pans out. You're guaranteed results with my contact. I have no guarantees with yours.
That's fair. I'm gonna take him downstairs and introduce him to Laura. And
Alright, so you head out. Ein, Laura, as you guys are going downstairs and Richard is just going into extreme detail of how to raise crops for alcohol.
I'm understanding very little of it, obviously.
You're understanding jack shit, because apparently it's a very, very specific topic.
I am carrying not at all.
Mm-hmm. So, where are you guys going with Richard? Just keeping him out of trouble?
Leading him downstairs, and I look over at Laura. So is there anywhere in particular that you needed to go?
Well, we need to go ahead and think about getting to the political district soon enough. That's where all the influential people are supposed to be.
Well, then I'll go ahead and assist in leading Richard there.
Well, let's drop him off at the tavern where he can be safe and not cause any trouble.
Do you really think that he will be safe and not cause any trouble if we're not watching him in this state?
No, but I know if we bring him with us, he'll cause us lots of trouble.
Good point. At the very least, the trouble it'll cause on his own is only for himself.
Yes.
Let's return.
Yep.
Alright. So, after that very brief conversation, Beetle, as you go downstairs, you do see that Richard, Ein, and Laura have left the building.
Great.
And he's just following behind.
So, where's your friend?
What was the name of the other tavern? The Ducky, the what?
I believe it was like the Lucky Duck or something like
Yeah, the
that.
Lucky Duck, I think. I think they might have retired back to our tavern at the Lucky Duck.
Hmm.
It's a shame they were supposed to wait for me, but apparently they don't care.
That doesn't bode well for our relationship.
It would have helped if you asked us to wait for you.
I
I didn't think that you would
we never
leave.
said we weren't coming back here. We're just dropping off the drunk. Hey, you can never trust when a drunk is just going to be dropped off somewhere. All right.
And do you really want Richard to be in the same room with this guy a second time?
Nope, I know that's fair.
Discussing business with Richard in the room. That's not going to help either.
No, he's just gonna pull up his glasses and stare at paper. Okay. What were out of character? What were the other things that he offered me? It was money, influence, and what was the third thing?
Favors.
Favors.
Sexual.
What kind of favor were you looking for exactly?
Well, how much is your risk tolerance?
Oh, plenty.
Fantastic. I just need you to go ahead and bring a package in.
A package into where?
From the outer wall to the inner wall.
That's an interesting thing to call slaves.
And what would be the package?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, is it small? Is it large?
It's small enough. You'd be able to kind of carry it in your two hands.
Okay,
Don't worry about
I
it.
think I could do that.
Very good. If you can do that, then we'll be in business. You're going to want to go ahead and meet up with my friend, Lawrence Bull. He runs the Fluffy Camel. It's an inn.
Sounds great. I will meet up with my friends and tell them of this joyous discovery. It's a pleasure doing business with you, sir.
Of course, pleasure is all mine.
Beetle Barnabas the Third.
Goes ahead, reaches his hands out to shake yours, and
Pleasure's all mine, Beetle Barnabas.
gives you a bow, and leaves you to your own affairs.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go to the Lucky Duck. I'm gonna sprint.
Alright, so I'm... Yep.
Just so you know, I'm rolling right now, and that's a 13 plus 2 for my exhaustion check, because I'm now 3 days without sleep.
Alright, good to know.
Yeah.
So, as you guys get back to the Lucky Duck, and you guys... Do you just try to drop them off there, or try to make them go to bed?
Well, we're supposedly going to the political district, so I'm going to go up to my room as we drop Richard off, and I'm going to change my clothing because it's filthy, and I don't see a big reason to be bringing a ton of weapons with me to a supposed orgy. You know? I'm a walking arsenal here. I don't need to bring this with me.
That is perfectly reasonable. So, you go ahead, get changed, and Richard, he goes ahead and starts hanging out with a couple of the orcs there, decides to start betting some gold against them.
Okay.
Fine. So you're seeing this and knowing that lore's changing, do you just... What do
I'm
you
just
do?
gonna wait at the door. I'm just gonna wait at the door because I can't get any more beer. And you know, I'm a good little boy. I don't drink. Just kidding. But yeah,
You look like a man right now.
I know, right? I unfortunately needed to do business, so I wasn't able to finish even my one beer over at the other place. Oh well. I'm an Empyrean, damn it. We get drunk at the age of 6.
Drunk thieves.
Oh, we're tough here. Our kids start drinking at the age of 4, and then you go ahead here. But if you're under 15, you're not allowed out after 5.
They start drinking, they get drunk. See, all the kids just get day drunk. See, they're drunk by 4, but they can't be out by after 5.
And not take a big fat nap, have dinner at 7, go to bed.
But yeah, I'm just waiting by the door.
Alright, so Laura, after you change and get out, you see Ein. You hear Richard going, Yahtzee!
But they're playing chess. Oh, never mind. You said there were chess tables. You didn't say anything about dice. So
There aren't any dice.
That's part of the joke.
I think so too. I'm just reminding people who weren't here for the last episode.
Yeah.
So,
Alright.
Yeah, I'm not going to have any weapons on me when I go here.
My only weapon is my stick. Because that's literally my only weapon, and it's not really a weapon.
His stick is his passport.
alright.
Yes.
As you guys start leaving, you see Beetle running in, a little out of breath. It's clear that he's been jogging.
And you still see this weird person that you don't recognize next to Laura, but you also might be able to, put 2 and 2 together.
Laura doesn't have any armor.
So,
on.
yeah.
She's got bracelets on. She's in a dress and flats. No armor, no.
Beetle's gonna run up out of breath. Guys, okay, I think I think I might have found us a contact in the political district.
Are you okay?
I ran the whole way here because you all just left me to talk to that man.
And what did you say?
Okay, so we have 2 options here. The first is that we bluff our way into creating a deal where he can sell alcohol in Imperia. I believe that you would be the one to take on the burden of that. The second option we have is that we smuggle a package from the outer wall to the inner wall. I don't know what the package is.
What
Yeah.
Cecil is saying is that he's made a deal that either we can go ahead and attempt to sell alcohol to Imperia as an exclusive offer, to which he thinks that you might be a useful contact. And the second option is that we retrieve a package between the outer and the inner wall and bring it into another place in town.
I can make no promises about us being able to offer exclusive alcohol, but however, that doesn't mean that I have to say that I can make no promises. He doesn't need to know that.
True.
Laura, if it's any consolation, Laura, if it's any consolation, he can't speak Imperial. So he'll have no idea what you and I talk about.
So, what do you think? Should we go for this package, which might be easy or dangerous? It would also let us see the wall, which could be important.
In all honesty, I don't really think that we can trust anyone within the city in particular, especially considering that person was a drug lord. So we're also going to be most likely smuggling drugs. But at the same time, that's really not our business now, is it? We should probably go for the wall.
True, we do need to see it anyway.
So what's the consensus?
We think it's in our best interest to go for the package. I'll be back in half a second. And I run upstairs and grab my hand crossbow and a few bolts. Just in case.
That sounds like a great idea. I'm alone with Ein right now, aren't I?
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna mime to Ein. Fucking performance roll here. I'm not rolling with that die. I think that one's wrong.
What?
11.
Okay.
I'm so glad I have expertise in performance.
What's your insight?
Plus, mine or his?
Eins.
My insight is +3.
Okay. So what are you trying to mine?
I'm washing myself. I'm gonna point upstairs. I'm gonna do this. Upstairs, me. Upstairs, and I'm gonna go upstairs.
He may have just offered to bathe you.
I go ahead and sniff my own clothes. I don't want to change. That is a very odd demon thing.
And you see him walking away.
I just go ahead and sit down at the bar.
When I see people coming towards the door, I'll leave it open and hand him the key.
The unfortunate part is no one in this fucking city apparently speaks any languages that I do.
That's fucking hilarious.
They
is what
speak
it is.
Elven but refuse to speak it. Like, they speak it, they're like, that's a gutter language. These are fucking Imperians, they don't speak it. Well.
He's periods.
I'm gonna go upstairs, take a really quick shower,
All right.
wash off my clothes real quick,
As you're
put them back on. I
upstairs,
only have one set of clothes, y'all.
as you're looking around, you find that this is a very backwards type of town where they don't have showers.
What? What's available?
You discover that there are blankets and sheets. There is a beating stick that's randomly in the room.
Okay.
A rug, a dresser, a strange-looking type of lamp.
There's no bathroom?
There is a hole that is attached.
There's no running water up there?
No running water.
What kind of horrible... I miss Joel. Why'd I ever leave that forsaken city?
Laura, you're
Why'd I have
hearing
to kill
this.
the tavern owner?
I walk downstairs. I don't care.
I'm gonna walk downstairs and figure out where the dang showers are.
Alright, you see that the orcs are all just chilling and playing, and Richard's having a great time, and You see the innkeeper's changed out for a different one.
I'm gonna go talk to the innkeeper.
Oh, yes.
Do you have a bath available here anywhere? Huh?
Anyway, like, I can't just materialize him.
Of course not. You can't materialize a bath, but there is no shower or bath basin in my room.
You don't need one of those. That's excessive.
I'm covered in blood. If you don't notice.
Oh, I perfectly noticed. I thought it was an aesthetic choice.
No, it's not an aesthetic choice, but I mean, if it looks good on me.
It goes with your natural red.
Ha! Thanks.
Well, you blend in with yourself now. You
Oh,
look more
geez,
naked.
absolutely wonderful. Is there a bathhouse nearby?
Oh, yeah, there's definitely a bathhouse.
Is there any bath in this tavern?
No, of course not.
Of course, thanks. Okay, great. Cool. Wonderful.
Anything else we can do for you?
Nope, that's it. That's all I needed.
Are you sure? We insist on high quality service.
I'll take a shot.
Pulls out what looks like to be whiskey, pours a shot, pours in front of you.
Thanks.
I thought they didn't serve alcohol here.
I do.
You see that it came out of his pocket.
Oh, okay.
And you see, roll a... Actually, what's your passive perception?
Fucking, how do I figure that out? Forgot to write that down. I was supposed to do that last time.
Your passive perception is...
Oh, my passive wisdom? Is that just my wisdom score? Or is it like...
It's whatever you add to a normal perception.
It's 10 plus your perception stat.
Oh, okay. Then it would be 3. So it would be...
Alright,
10
roll for
plus
perception.
My, 10 plus my... Then it would be 13. But 15 for the roll.
Alrighty, so as you are about to take a shot, you see that Richard is rushing at you, just screaming, "No! No!"
I'm gonna look him dead in the eyes and take a shot.
You see that's a little devastated.
Nice.
Puts his hand on your shoulder. That's the worst whiskey in town.
Is it the West Whiskey in town?
Friends don't let friends drink bad whiskey.
I'm gonna take the flask out of my pocket. I'm gonna have to roll Constitution for this because I'm gonna chug it.
He pulls out a shot glass out of his pocket.
pour him a shot of it. I'm gonna watch him drink it. Do you like that whiskey?
Significantly better.
Is it? It's the same whiskey that was in that barrel at the bar.
Do you know why it's better? Because you had previous drinks in it before. You never washed it out.
Of course.
So
of course.
that's the saving grace.
You know what? You can convince yourself it's better or worse. I don't care. And I'm gonna.
You're trying to establish trust issues.
While I was upstairs undressing and then sadly finding out that there was no
Shower.
shower, I am leaving 2 of my instruments upstairs
Okay.
because I'm gonna make myself a little less loud. I'm just gonna carry my loot around.
Okay.
I'm keeping everything else on me though. I don't trust to leave it up there.
All right. You succeed.
Cool.
It's not like this is a whole city devoted to sin or anything. No one would ever take your stuff.
Absolutely
Yeah, really.
not. Yeah. So I'm leaving those up there because it's not very likely anybody's gonna take those. But my stuff, probably gonna take that.
Lock the door.
Yep, locked the door. Sweet, cool. Then I gonna go outside and be really sad and be like, okay, so we have to go to this place called the Fuzzy Camel. There's someone called, what was that name?
The Fluffy Camel.
No, the name of the person. It was like really unpronounceable.
Mr. Boole.
Boole. There's someone named Boole who's
Lorenz
supposed to
Boole,
meet
I
us
believe.
there. Laura,
Okay.
did you hear me?
Speak?
Can you hear me now?
Woof.
Yeah, yep, we can hear it.
Okay.
She did it.
Can you hear me now? Good. Can you hear me now? Not #not spons. So we have to go to this place called the Fluffy Camel. There's someone named Mr. Boole who's supposed to meet us there.
I'll tell I'm that. We're looking for Mr. Poole. We'll continue our discussion
Mr.
on
Poole.
theoretic. No, fool. I will finish our discussion on theoretical physics when we get back. So, yes, Beetle. Do you know where the fluffy camel is?
Did he give me directions?
He didn't. Just that it's in the outer wall.
I have not a single idea, but it should be somewhere around the outer wall. I'm really great at navigating.
Can we see the outer wall from where we are now?
No, there's the city. The inner city is way too dense. All the buildings are close together. And it kind of gives you a little bit of a claustrophobic feeling with how close everything is. Doesn't help the fact that there are trees also planted in random locations on the sidewalks to go ahead and make it even feel more cramped.
I go inside to talk to the bartender, or the tavern keeper, yeah.
Yes? How can I be of help?
I'm actually looking for directions. A place called the Fluffy Camel, I believe it's called.
I have heard of that seedy place.
Oh, really? Seedy. Sounds like my kind of place. How about would I go to getting there?
Well, if you go ahead and go through the south gate and follow the main road, you'll eventually reach one of the other major southern gates, and if you ask around, they'll point you in the right direction. It's well known enough. People are generally warned, don't go there.
Very good. Thank you. Sir, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I go back out. We head out the south gate. We head down the south gate to the main road. Then we continue south, and we'll find something there.
As you go for the south inner city gate, you come across what looks like to be a massive archway with a heavy wooden door on one side. It looks like not a drawbridge, but something that's just dropped down, whereas on even more in front of you is a heavy steel gate blocking the way. So, kind of traditional medieval door to a castle. You see that there's a bit of a guard detail walking around the area, and as you are approaching, a guard does approach the three of you.
Halt! Where do you guys think you're going?
His uniform, you notice that is very different from the actual inner city guards that have been wandering around the city, where they're not marked, whereas this guy is, you see that his clothing's a little poofy and colorful under the armor. He's carrying a halberd and has a bit of a mane going on his helmet.
I nod at Beetle. You have charisma, I don't.
Habla español.
See.
We're a bit lost, you see. We were looking for this tavern that my friend recommended. He says that they have a really great bartender there. It's called the Fluffy Camel.
I'm sorry, but I've never heard of such a thing.
But you'll need to go back.
Why must we go back to the inner city?
Not to leave.
Why?
It's the law, of
That's
course.
literally what I was afraid of. It was
Yep.
going to be a lot harder to exit than it was to enter. I knew we weren't going to just be able to say mission complete.
I suppose
Yep.
that makes sense.
Well, I hope so. I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
You see, I'm here as a representative of Jewel, and I don't think.
So you're saying you're not from around here?
Of course, I'm not from around here.
Would you be so kind to come with me?
Why?
Don't
I'm
worry.
walking away.
It's a.
I'm walking
Hey! You see him just give a loud whistle, and you see a couple of guards running over to you, Laura.
A pony appears between the guards and us. Just appears. It doesn't fall.
Can we all ride the
literally
pony?
Appears. Yes, a fucking pony just appears between us. And again, it's a spell-like ability. It doesn't require an incantation or anything, so it doesn't look like it came from me.
Alright, so as you go ahead and have this pony appear, they stumble around for a moment as they try to get around the pony, the man in front of you immediately just tries to put out his hand to hold on to you. Do you let him?
Look at that insane pony! I'm just gonna like
allow him to.
go out of the way.
At you being Beetle.
Yeah.
Do you resist or?
Beetle's gonna take his hand and shake it.
Alright, so as you take it, he just grabs onto your hand and he just pulls you in and just grabs onto
I'm
your
gonna
other.
seduce the guard.
Um,
Alright, Beetle's gonna act like he's swooned. Oh, sorry, you shouldn't have.
Just come with me.
Oh,
And-
coming where? Oh, it's not.
I assume Laura's already booked.
Would that be
it, so I'll
persuasion?
follow it. Don't need to
Would that be
distract
persuasion?
Sure.
You're assuming that he would be.
Oh, you're right. Sad. Okay.
But
I'm
you
not
can
gonna
do
go
an
with him,
insight
though.
check.
I'm not gonna go. Wait. Yeah, I'm gonna do an insight check, but Beetle's not gonna go with this guy. That's gonna be an 18.
You kind of get a idea that he's not exactly under the influence of the strange magics that are around. It's almost as if he sees clearly.
You know what? I'm gonna go with him.
Okay.
While I'm going with him, I'm gonna start asking him questions. Say, you seem like you're not in a fog.
Of course I'm not.
So what's going on with everybody else here?
Oh, you'll get those questions answered pretty right quick.
Good.
Just come with me. We don't particularly like foreigners running around the city.
I can see why. It's a little bit, you know,
Most are a little appalled.
appalled at foreigners or appalled at what's happening here.
Foreigners are appalled.
Oh yes, because I certainly am. There's no showers in the taverns here. And people are just having sex with just about anybody. It's a little strange.
Anything.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
That's great.
Don't worry. Give it time.
So, Laura, as you're running away, and Ian, as you're fleeing, hold on.
Yup.
I think this
I'm looking for an alley.
a little bit
How
of
dark
an.
is it right now, by the way?
Hmm?
How dark is it right now?
It looks about to be 7-ish or 8-ish, so it's pretty dark.
Also, the pony is acting frantic. It's the pony is flipping out. Like if someone like set off a landmine in its face and it wasn't injured.
Well, they just ran around it.
Kind of difficult to run around a freaking out pony.
I mean, there are space on
There's
either
plenty
side
of space.
the pony.
I guess.
So, as they
Chasing them.
So they're working on trying to run you down, and Laura, as you are looking around trying to find a possible alley, you see one that looks like it's through a residential district. Looks like it'd be between a few houses.
Okay. I'm gonna glance down. Do I see anything easy to get to?
It looks like that there's just a lot of bushes that you would need to navigate over, but you're agile enough and athletic enough to be able to just vault yourself over 'em.
I grab Ein, duck down there, jump over the bushes, and then lie next to the bushes.
Alright, make a stealth check.
Okay. That's actually something Laura's good at.
Surprise.
Fuck yeah, that's a 17 plus, my god, I have a higher score there. A 17 plus 5, 22.
Wow.
As the guards run by, you see that one just slides and looks down the alley, and he just turns the halberd around and gently stabs towards the bush, but you are in a position in the bush where you see the halberd just come inches away from cutting off your own nose. It just comes out as he gets up, and you hear someone yell, "This way!" And he just turns and starts running.
Now, how good of a look at us did they have?
You wouldn't be able to know, but you did approach them.
Were they
maybe one of them would have had a good look at you, for sure, but the two others, it really depends on their recollection of details in a split second.
Okay, I'm gonna wait until I can't hear them any longer.
Alrighty, so as you are heading out, and as you're waiting, they're heading out, dispersing, stopping the occasional civilian to question. And Beetle, find yourself brought into what looks like to be a rather dull-looking office. The floor is made out of cobblestone.
But an office, not a jail.
Not a jail.
Okay.
There's just a boring-looking desk. Looks like a bureaucrat's kind of desk. You see in and out files and papers. You see a seal. You see that there's a couple, more than like 3 ways outside of this particular room. And you're just sat on the opposite side. You don't even have someone watching you. You're just told to wait.
Just chilling?
Just chill. Just chill.
Okay. Did he close the door after himself?
Oh, no.
It's just open?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go close the door.
Okay.
Just gonna close the door. I'm not gonna lock it. You know what? I'm gonna close the door and lock it.
It doesn't have a lock.
Oh, it doesn't have a lock? Sad. I'm gonna close the door and quickly look around.
Alright, so as you close the door, start looking around.
I'm not gonna go behind the desk. I'm gonna like look over the desk from where I'm sitting, so it doesn't look too suspicious if I just sit back down.
There isn't any natural light coming in. The most that you are able to see with is due to a what looks like to be a candle lamp.
Oh, that's
lighting up the
fine.
area.
I have dark vision. I'm a tiefling.
Fair enough.
I can see everything.
As you're able to go ahead and look over, you see that there are some reports, just a lot of reports on just random vagrancy, and apparently orders for deportation.
What's on the orders for deportation?
It just says deportation.
That's all it says.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take those papers.
All right. With that, you see
Then
that.
I'm gonna open the door.
All right. There's also what looks like to be a book. You see a quill on it as well. See that's just written as minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna sit there and wait then, I guess. Nothing else I want.
A man eventually comes on in, and you see that he is wearing a rather regal-looking outfit, and just purples and greens. You see that he has a bit of a... trying to remember what it's called, that thing you throw over your shoulders.
A shawl?
Kind of like a shawl, but not a shawl.
Scarf?
Very long, kind of
Like a
like a scarf.
cape?
Not a cape, but it's
A
thrown over.
poncho. Sorry.
It's just thrown over his shoulder. You see that it has some writing on it, and it just says Deputy Director.
Okay.
And he sits down at the opposite side. See that he opens up a drawer. Would you like a drink, sir?
Sure.
Very good. He takes out 2 glasses, puts it out in front, pops something open, pours what looks like to be a thick, dark red liquid into it. Just gloop, gloop, gloop.
Can I do an investigation check to see what that is?
Sure. Pours a
Nat
second one.
20.
It seems to remind you of the consistency of Dragonborn blood wine.
Oh, okay.
Pours a second glass. But what you do know about it is it's a very expensive, high quality, difficult to produce drink. He goes ahead, takes it, pushes the second one in front of you. Cheers.
Cheers.
So, I'm told that you are a foreigner.
Yes, I am.
How did you come across How did you come across Lullin? The inner city, at least.
We were trying to find the front gate, whenever we stumbled upon a tunnel into the city, which I would highly recommend securing, by the way.
Well, you stumbled across it.
Yes, we did. It was being guarded by Imperial soldiers.
Oh! So you're friends with the Imperians, are you?
Absolutely not.
Then how did they let you in? If it was guarded, did you sneak by them?
I am not friends with the Imperial soldiers. I have some friends of mine that I was traveling with.
Oh.
I do not share the same views as them, and neither does Jewel.
So, where would your friends be located?
I don't know. They ran away.
Well, they're obviously going to be staying somewhere.
Of course they should be staying somewhere, but
You know where they rest their heads? Or you're just looking to protect your friends right now?
it's less that I'm looking to protect my friends and more that I'm very upset that they've left me.
Sounds like you need better friends.
Of course I do. I haven't had much luck since I left Jewel, but that brings me to the point of why I'm here, because as you know, one does not simply smuggle their way into a country or make friends with Imperial soldiers for fun.
Well, it's a very practical relationship, if you try to think about it.
You see, I was sent here by Jewel to find out why we've lost contact with the city.
I don't know off the top of my head why all contact with Jewel has been banned. But maybe you can find out through someone else. But so is that is that the only reason that you're here?
Well, you see, the city of Jewel is very concerned with the sudden miscontact. It is in fact the only reason why I'm here. At least it's the only reason why I'm here. I mean, not to brag or anything, but I am a descendant of the Barnabas family. I would take any opportunity I could to perform.
I would highly recommend, if you want to go ahead and expand your practice, to go ahead and explore the outer world of Lullin. A lot more freedom of movement, a lot more freedom in general. Not as much decadence within the inner city in comparison.
Well, of course, but I'm not here for decadence. I'm here for business.
So, seeing as I can't help you on one front, is there any other fronts that I can go ahead and help you with? Otherwise, I'm going to have to just make sure to lay down a number of very important ground rules.
And what would those ground rules be?
First ground rule, you don't talk about what's going on outside of the inner city. Ever. Ever. It will cause a panic. And panic leads to disorder. Disorder leads to chaos. Chaos leads to collapse of civilization.
I guess that makes sense. I suppose that people in the intercity would not want to know about what's going on along the outer wall.
Oh. The outer wall has all sorts of problems, but people, they concern themselves with politics that really should not ever fall into their purview.
I suppose I do have one more question. Why is it that everyone outside of here is so obsessed with their vices? It's like something's taken a hold of them, and you can smell it in the air. It's horrendous.
Most people, they have mostly grown up as of recent, but it was a policy decision by the elected government about 40 or 50 years ago. It was found that people were getting very antsy about being locked up inside of the city. So, we went ahead, contacted a few high-ranking archmages to go ahead and develop a means to control the curiosity.
Of course. And as a visitor, and someone who does not want to stay living in Lullin, how would one avoid that?
You grew up without being pushed to indulge. The more you try to indulge your vices, the harder, more animalistic your instincts are likely to become.
I see. And he's just gonna push the alcohol away from himself a little bit.
Well, it's a matter of temperance, self-control.
So you're saying that I should be very careful not to draw a crowd to myself, or
Don't over-enjoy
Indulge.
yourself.
I see.
But you don't have to cut yourself off. You're allowed to have nice things in life. Such as this wine. But don't get drunk.
Ah, okay.
Engage in sex, but don't engage in sodomy. That kind of thing. Engage in a good bar fight, but don't go
Out
crazy.
of character. You do realize.
Yes, I do realize.
Okay. So. Okay.
A good thing you pick up on details.
Yep.
What about control? Self-control.
Yes, self-control very important. Okay. Other ground rules?
Another ground rule. When you're ready for a deportation, just come straight to the office. We'll go ahead and make sure you're taken care of.
Would you be sure to deport me to my country of origin?
Well,
Or just outside?
deportation only consists of kicking you out of the inner city wall. We don't exactly have a wide reach.
Okay.
Also, if a guard requires you for whatever reason, do comply.
Such as?
They're your friends, they ran away.
Yeah, I know. I don't know where they are. It's
It's
really disappointing.
That's almost grounds for deportation. We just needed to talk with you.
I know. If I find them, I will bring them back to you to have a proper discussion of what's going on.
Let them know what's going on. I'll call off the manhunt.
Of course, I will tell them and
But
tell them to stop freaking out.
but it is to be known that this is the first and only warning. I don't like having to repeat myself, and I don't believe in rehabilitation the same way Drew does. We just evict people.
I see. Well, that could certainly be done.
Very good. Anything else? Otherwise, would you like to take that wine with you?
I would love to take this wine with me.
Pulls out what looks like to be a bit of a pouch, opens it up, smells it, takes your wine glass, pours it in, caps it, just throws it at you.
Gonna grab it. Wow, Beetle has a lot of drugs and alcohol on him now. Side note, he's got weed, fucking gunpowder cocaine, dragonborn blood wine, and a half flask of whiskey. So, there's that. So, out of character, so we're in the inner city?
Yes.
And we were trying to get to the outer city walls?
Yes.
And then we would have to come back to the inner city?
Yep.
Okay.
Dot, dot, dot.
Cool. Okay. I think I can figure this out. I think I can figure this puzzle out. Okay. Okay. So I suppose I should go and find my friends.
You can leave right now if you wish.
I'm going to do that. I'm gonna leave.
When you go through that door, go down the hall, take the second right, and as soon as you come across someone, just bug them to escort you out.
I'm gonna go that way, but instead of taking the second right, I'm gonna take the first right.
Alright, as you take the first right, you discover what looks like to be a shower room.
Oh my god, Beetle's gotta take a shower.
And that's what's happening. So, Laura and Ein, you see after maybe a good hour, guards stop coming around and harassing people for answers, able to give you guys a little breathing room.
I think we should head back to the tavern and grab all of our stuff. I'm completely unsure that people won't squeal on us.
I agree. And technically, we've already completed our mission. We just need to figure out how to leave.
True, that's all that we have to do, so when they get back to do and let them know the status.
Mm-hmm. We were never supposed to solve the issue. We just needed to find out the status of Lullin. We've discovered that.
Very true. Let's go back to the get rich and see how we can get out of here.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go.
We're gonna head back to the tavern.
Yeah, and I turn my kimono inside out.
I
Alright,
messed up the entire bit and I messed up my own, so it looks like nothing real good.
as you show up, you see Richard is missing.
I also remove some of the stuff, like I removed some of my disguise.
Alright, so your disguise is partially removed and gets our
I'm holding his hand.
his being Ein.
Yes. I'm holding Ein's hand as we walk down the street back to the tavern.
Okay,
That works.
so you guys get back to the tavern. Richard is missing.
You know what? At this point, I just don't care. I'm going upstairs to grab all of my shit.
I still have all of my shit. You should. Well, I'll follow and just be like, you should grab Beetles as well. That way we can meet Beetle in the cavern down there and start planning how to escape. Do you think they've been able to cave in? Do you think they've been able to collapse the cave yet?
Honestly, I would not be surprised if they have. However, if they haven't, we need to go now.
I agree. We should go ahead and try leaving from there. If not, I don't think it would be too much of an issue to just fight our way through the gate.
Well, technically, the only one who has to make it back is myself, or at least one of us to go ahead and report. Everyone else was expendable.
I mean, technically, Beetle doesn't even count. Beetle isn't even part of the mission. So, if without Ash, without Richard, and without Ash, you're the only one left that was actually a part of the mission. So, you have to survive.
Very true. Okay, let's go then.
Well, we should at least wait. I don't feel it would be right. You know, let's give Beetle an hour. How about we at least do that? I don't feel like abandoning a comrade, even if they might happen to be a demon that wants to kill us all and trap us in the realms of hell and all of that. You know, maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for now.
Is there another tavern or anything else like a restaurant or anything near the tavern we're at right now?
You see a chip and soup restaurant right across the way.
Does it have windows?
Oh yeah, it's called the Fake Watering Hole.
Let's go over there and have something to eat, so at least that way if we see any guards coming to the tavern, we know to get out.
Ein.
Sorry, I didn't hear that part. My dog is being molested right now. Oh. But okay, what happened? Sorry.
You and I are going across the street to a restaurant, and we're going to sit inside with our backs to a wall and watch out the window for an hour in case Beetle shows up or in case a bunch of guards show up.
Sounds good to me.
So you guys walk in. You see a very well-dressed looking elf. Welcome to my lovely restaurant. What can I get you guys started with? Come with me. I got a lovely seat for you two.
Oh, thank you.
They go ahead and sit you at a very small table. It's barely like the length of your shin.
Laura, do you think you could ask for anything involving large quantities of meat?
Oh no. We do only chips and soup here.
Oh, so you understand Empyrean then?
Oh yes, of course.
Oh, okay, that's makes
He
me
switched
think
over
of
to
it.
Empyrean very quickly.
I'll speak Imperial then too.
Sounds good.
Make it easier.
It's like, could I get like a large steak and someone annoying in the background and a bowl of stew, please?
I can't give you straight steak. That's not something we do here, but I can get you steak soup.
Oh, well, that would be good. Just as thick as possible, as little water as possible, please.
Yeah, that's the idea of the stew, I believe.
Very much so. You wouldn't believe how many people don't understand that.
Do you happen to have something with a bunch of
What?
What about
Do you
Bruno?
happen to have something with a great deal of caffeine in it?
Oh, yes, of course. We got plenty of caffeine-infused beverages. So are you looking to be up and down, or are you looking to just be go, go, go?
Go in this case.
Okay, might recommend a jewel roast. Harvested from the best nuts of jewel.
I'll take the largest size you have.
Very good, very good. We'll make sure it's properly mashed and filtered. It's, Well, it might be a little salty, just a small warning.
That's fine by me, thank you.
He goes ahead, leaves you two alone. He comes back within like 10 minutes with your stew, iron, and your coffee.
Oh, thank you. Now, as I was saying, it's important for us to realize that unless we can fully understand the golden ratio, there's no way for us to get economic security within the nation state.
That makes as much sense as. I actually, I'm not even gonna try and finish that one. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, terribly sorry.
I know. Are we talking like silver to gold to platinum? Like, is that the golden ratio? Like, we already kind of understand that though. It's Imperial standardized that.
It's more to do with the theoretical principles of string itself, with the theory of 1.97. You see, within that number, you can form any number of variables.
I pull out some string. Like 1.97 feet, or like almost 2 feet of string.
Oh, never mind. It's
This isn't even 1 gold. How can you call this a golden ratio? This is a copper at best.
Do we see Beetle yet?
Feels gonna leave after a shower.
Alright,
Very quickly.
as you step out of the shower, you see the guy is sitting right outside the door, drinking his wine.
The same guy.
Enjoy your shower, I hope.
Yep, I'm sorry. I just was covered in blood and figured that I should probably do something about it. I'm leaving now.
I'll escort you, make sure you don't take excessive liberties.
I got lost on the way.
You literally took the first right.
Instead of the second, I'm so sorry.
He just keeps an eye on you as he just escorts you out of the building.
Okay. And then I'm gonna make sure that I'm completely out of view of wherever I am, and then sprint to the Lucky Duck.
Alright. So, as you sprint into the Lucky Duck, nothing crazy happens. It's a safe city.
Yeah, okay.
Though you could have swore that you might have heard murder or orgy going on at the same time in the same place. So, something was going on. But as
In real
you...
life experience, I can tell you it's pretty much the same thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk in like nothing's, like I'm not panicked though. Just gonna like
As you
put you out of breath.
run across, almost arriving at the Lucky Duck, I and Laura, you spot Beetle rushing.
Don't question anything. Just stay here. In fact, I think it's time we start leaving.
let's wait for at least a moment. Beetle seems to be rather hurried, but no one knows that we are here. If need be, we can always escape out the back door.
That's the thing I'm worried about, is what if Beetle was followed? Let's go ahead and watch for if anyone's coming.
Exactly, see? So we don't need to be worried or anything.
I'm sorry, my mic cut out. I said, at first I went ahead and said, let's be prepared to leave.
Oh, I
I'm
just
gonna-
heard let's leave. I was like,
Yeah, I heard my mic cut
The-
out.
I'm gonna open the door of the tavern and just kind of look around to see if there's any guards.
There is just a single guard that, like, he looks off duty,
Okay.
and he's just smoking one of the joints with one of the orcs while
So he's-
playing cards.
Off duty, so he doesn't know what's going on, right?
Who knows?
Okay,
Yeah,
fair.
you
I'm gonna
have
go
no
to
idea.
the tavern owner and I'm gonna say, excuse me, ma'am. Have or sir,
Sir.
excuse me, sir. Have the people that I was rooming with, have they turned in their keys?
Oh, no. Of course not. They went across the street, though.
Oh, thanks. I'm gonna go outside see if there's any guards outside.
Yeah, there's
momentarily realizing not the best choice of places.
there's just a standard patrol going around.
Okay.
Can I see Beetle through the window?
Yes, Beetle is just outside. You notice that Richard isn't inside the tavern.
Richard's
I
missing?
look
Yep.
directly at Beetle. I'm not sure if he can see me or not, and I put my finger to my
He
mouth
cannot.
and shake. He can't? Shit.
It's a tinted window.
So they just went right across the street. So they went into the obvious chips and soup tavern.
The fake watering hole.
The fake water.
Did we literally see the person point at us though? Like Beetle asking and them saying just pointing across the street
Nope.
towards us?
No, just spoke.
Okay.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna go to the obvious across the street place.
Alright, as you go on in, you see someone coming up and putting a piece of paper down with a few notes and your balance. Looks like they want 7 copper or 2 emeralds.
I pay with 1 silver and say keep the change.
Alright, you see Beetle coming in and looking at you.
I put my finger to my mouth as I get up, and I shake my head slightly, and I take Ein by the arm, and we walk out.
Without me?
Yes, without you.
I'm gonna follow you.
Oh god. Oh no, Beetle's retarded.
Why is Beetle retarded?
Oh god.
I'm currently just following Laura.
Oh, are they disguised? Is that
Mm-mm.
no? Okay.
Not terribly.
Beetle, no, I'm his disguise still.
Well,
I'm
he's
not.
less disguised.
Yeah, less disguised than I was.
So, Beetle, you're following him silently, or do you
No,
try to
I'm
talk
gonna
to
start
him?
explaining what's going on.
Alright, start explaining.
I'm not in trouble, and neither are you as long as I explain to you what's been happening here. You're welcome. Saved your skin again.
We need to get out of here now.
Of course we need to get out of here now. But I know what's happening to the city.
And that is?
Apparently all contact with Jewel has been banned.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's that, but I haven't gotten an answer why. And you know, if we return with only half the information, they're just going to send us back here.
Our actual goal was just to go ahead and find out what Lullin's status was.
Apparently, Lullin's status is not talking to Jewel.
Exactly. That's Jules' problem, not ours.
Have I had any of this translated, or I assume not?
I'm just going to translate it and use it as a line.
Of course. Now,
So
you see,
simply,
it won't be...
Our issue is to just discover what is going on here, and what is going on is that it has now been banned from communicating. Past that, it's not our issue.
Well,
It'll be up to your ambassadors or people from here to discuss why it's not happening.
We're scouts. We're not soldiers. We're not diplomats.
well, at
We're
least
not
it's not
ambassadors,
destroyed.
We're not a force. We're literally scouts. It's a scout's job to do nothing more than observe and then report. We have observed. Now it's time to report.
Of course, but don't you think it's a bit strange that they chose to have archmages cast a haze of indulgence over the city to keep people quiet?
It is strange, but it's not our problem. It's Jules' problem.
And that's why we need to leave before they go ahead and pass something like that on us.
Well,
Exactly.
it already has. Here's the thing. I'm really glad that we didn't go to that cheese bar, because then I would have become like them. It appears that the more that you indulge in the things that you really truly love, the more you lost to the haze. That's why all the guards look like they're fine.
Those guards must really hate their jobs.
You know what? I agree.
Yep. Anyway, it's in our best interest not to remain here. We have to get out as soon as we can and let Jewel know what's going on. If anything happens to us, then that information won't get out, and they'll just keep sending people and having this happen again and again.
Assuming the people that they send even make it out through the wastes.
True.
It won't be hard for us to get out of here if you really want to leave right away instead of, I don't know, discovering what's going on here and figuring out what's up with the weird corrupt politicians. Like, I don't know, have fun. We could just ask to be deported.
I mean, it's not really our job.
You're also assuming that we can just leave through the front gate and not going ahead and using you as a way to get through to us by telling you that. Furthermore, we're also assuming this is the same plane. As I pointed out earlier, this used to all be rural land, but now it's changed. So it could be a different plane. The only way out is through the tunnel again. Back to
You
the
grew
river.
up in this land, you know that it's common knowledge to you that Lullin has two major parts of the city, inner and outer. It's never been rural. That would be a good description of the outer wall, but not the inner wall.
Oh, so I was incorrect when he described the place?
He's only been to the outer wall, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So we're in the inner wall right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Well, you see, we could choose to be deported entirely out of the country. Or we could try to make our way to the outer wall. Apparently, the people living in the outer wall have no idea what the city is doing in the inner wall.
Didn't we need to go to the outer wall anyway to do that thing that you wanted to do for I don't know why?
And then we also have to get back into the inner wall.
I can always just go ahead and have my familiar deliver it.
True. Assuming it's small enough that your familiar can deliver it.
It's definitely small enough that a familiar can deliver it. I could deliver it. It's tiny.
Beetle has very small hands, so the viewers wondering.
No, beetles not have small hands. It's just a small package.
Beetle said it, not us.
You want
Oh my
everything
god.
back? Phrasing.
You're horrible. All of you, horrible.
You said it.
I didn't realize I walked right into that. Had no
There was
idea.
no setup. You just said it. There was there was
I was
nothing.
talking about the small thing that we had to do, whatever.
Okay, apparently you want to. I mean, that's a euphemism if I've ever heard one. You went down a road that no one was even interested in going down. You're just like, by the way.
Yo, I was talking about the
guys.
illegal package.
Ham, small package, like.
We weren't asking about your package, man.
Of course, the horse could carry it. It's not a person or anything.
Well, what is that?
It's a box.
A box.
I don't know. Again, I told you this once. I'll tell you again. I don't know what's in the box. We haven't met the guy.
I look at mine. He has any right ideas.
Well, like I already said, I think that we should just be leaving. Our mission is already completed. And every minute that we spend here is another minute where we potentially are endangered further. Beyond that, though, I mean, heck, have we tried climbing the wall? Or, we could check the tunnel, see if the tunnel still works. If the outer wall is different than the inner wall, And outside the city is not surrounded by zombies like it used to be, or demons like it used to be, then couldn't we just take the tunnel out to the Imperium base and then walk in the front gate of the outer wall?
That's saying that we could even get in.
Would we have a particularly difficult time getting in once we're out?
I don't know. I haven't spoken to anybody about that.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, he was happy to deport us. I highly doubt that they are very excited to have foreigners come visit. Especially if they've banned contact with Jewel of all places.
I can imagine it would have been very nice when they heard that you are specifically from Jewel or here on Jewel business. You know, banning all contact with Jewel.
He was quite neutral, actually. He asked some very strange questions about my relations with the Imperial soldiers.
Anything in particular?
He asked, how I knew them, and he said that they were an asset.
Logical.
Well, if they are an asset,
Seems
then
gonna
that
give,
means
like,
that I
more
might
of
be
the
able
glare.
to- If they're an asset, then that means I might actually be able to do some working with them. Maybe I might want to speak with this exact guard. Do you think you might be able to get his attention?
I could absolutely get their attention. We should just all go in and speak to him together.
I'm not so sure all at once, because that's all the targets at the same time. There's no guarantee that they didn't leave you alone specifically to return to us and capture us all together. So I would
Speaking of which,
say...
are there any guards around us who seem to be trailing us or looking at us funny?
He called off the manhunt.
You see that there are guards around. You see that some look at you, but they don't seem to care about your existence. It's like a regular law enforcement officer just making sure that they're aware of who is about, what they're doing, what they look like, keep in mind what time it is that they saw that person.
He's just checking us out to see if we're murderers or something.
Yeah. Or a cop driving slowly behind your car. Just waiting to see if you mess up a basic traffic law.
But, then you won't ever leave alive.
So,
But, as I say, well then, I would say at the very least, at most, Laura, you should stay outside. Because we should at the very least, one of us should remain on the outside at minimum. If it is a form of trap, we still want to be sure that they don't have the full thing closed.
true. But how would I know if it's a trap if they go ahead and spring it on you?
I do have means of escape if need be. But on top of that, we might need you to rescue us. I don't plan on speaking with him for more than a few minutes. If we're gone for, let's say, 2 hours, that's when you should be suspicious.
Okay. That could work with me.
I know that, Laura, I know that for whatever reason, you think that I'm here to kill both of you. In fact, I know that you've been discussing eating me. I'm gonna pull out the note that Richard gave me. I'd be like,
It's handwriting.
Richard
It's very much Richard's handwriting.
was in fact kind enough to warn me that you all think that I look very tasty and that I could be rations.
Richard doesn't speak Imperial.
You know what?
Any idea what we're talking about? We weren't discussing anything at all such as eating you. In fact, we would find eating you to be rather repulsive.
That's good to know. But, you know what? It's not true that Richard can't speak Imperial. I know he can.
He can? Why hasn't he ever spoken up when I tried to speak with him about it before?
I don't know.
And why is he having such a hard time communicating with Armin if he can speak it?
Because he was obliviated at the tavern, remember? See, what happened happens with obliviation is that you lose every part of yourself, and sometimes that can include things like languages, being able to cast spells. It could also potentially confuse someone as to who they are. I mean, he did have amnesia.
Well, I'm talking about before he went ahead and had that amnesia problem when we first got there and met Ein for the first time, and then when you were all performing on the street before we entered the tavern, then at the tavern.
Well, then how would he know that you were discussing eating me?
Because he has no idea that we were discussing eating you because we weren't.
Well, it's good to know that isn't true, but it still stands to say that you both think I'm constantly trying to kill you.
No, we don't think they're trying to kill us. We think you're young, we think you're foolish in some regards, we think that you're making some mistakes which aren't well thought out, but most certainly we don't think you're trying to intentionally kill us or anyone else.
Good. Now, if you don't look around and see, I've convinced them to call off the manhunt. I highly doubt that us going in and speaking to this person would be a bad thing.
That's why we're going ahead and going to see the person right now. We're supposed to be leading us there.
Exactly, then let's all go in together. And I'm just gonna lead them directly there.
Alright, so as you lead them back to the main office that you were escorted out of, we're going to go ahead and take a 10-minute break.
Okay, sounds good.
And we are back. So, what was going on last time was that Beetle was leading Ein and Laura down to the station. And you guys show up. A couple of guards are a little confused by you guys showing up, but they don't really say anything or do anything. One of the guards does recognize Beetle.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, you were here not too long ago. Did you actually get charged?
You don't recognize him. Just some
No.
random guard.
Nope, I don't recognize him. Charged with what? I think you've mistaken me for someone.
I just knew you were here not too long ago, yo.
Is he high?
He might be.
He
You
might
can
be.
do
Okay.
an insight check.
I'm gonna do an insight check. That's gonna be 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you get closer, you see that his eyes are a little bloodshot.
Just here to talk to my friend the commissioner.
The commissioner. We got no commissioner.
Okay, you sure, buddy?
There's no commissioner here. Anyone else? I can look for you.
Who was the guy that I was talking to?
Call the
Deputy director.
Call.
Oh, I'm here to talk to the deputy director.
Ah, yeah. I can send a raven.
He's just standing there.
I'm gonna walk around him. I'm just gonna walk around him and go outside.
Alright. As you walk around him, he just starts just sauntering off somewhere else.
Okay.
So you guys go in. I presume you all go inside the building.
Yep.
Yep.
You see that there's just a lot of craziness and weird things going on. You see a couple of people fighting with a couple of guards, someone yelling at a guard just taking some notes at a desk. Someone walks up to you, rips something off of a notepad, gives it to you,
To me?
gives it to Beetle.
I'm gonna look at it. What's it say?
It says, please write your complaint. It's time of complaints. we'll deal with it when resources become available.
Oh, look, it's bureaucracy. Must be communist.
Do I go ahead and I point at the paper and look at Laura. Can you translate that for me?
It's saying that they want us to write down the date and time and reason of complaints, and that they'll get to it when resources are available.
Can you just tell them that an Imperial representative wishes to speak with them?
I say this to people. People let them know that an Imperial representative wishes to speak with them.
Sweet. Hey, so I was here earlier. I'm the foreigner.
Shush on the foreigner.
Oh, okay. Shush on the foreigner.
Okay,
I'm the
come
foreigner.
on. Just gesturing to the other two of you. Come with
I
us.
follow.
They lead you to what looks like to be a bit of an interrogation room. One way
Is
in.
it not the same room that I was brought to?
Nope.
No, of course not. You said you come out there and yell, "It's me, the foreigner!"
I thought it was going to be the same treatment, but okay.
I might be able to get another audience with him. He asked me to come see him with my friends. I said, no, I'm the foreigner.
Fine, whatever.
The person just looks at you.
We'll get someone with you soon enough.
Just a minute. I was here earlier talking to the deputy commissioner. I'm going to show him the bag of drug.
We don't have a commissioner.
Deputy director.
The deputy director. I don't know why I keep calling him the commissioner. To the deputy director, and he asked me to find my friends for him, and I have them here.
Yeah, that's the case.
And I was hoping to get another audience with them. This is a representative of Imperia. He seemed quite ecstatic. Sorry, I literally lost my train of thought.
Choo-choo, motherfucker.
Choo-choo, mother.
I'm rather excited about
Is there a problem with the room?
There's absolutely no problem with the room. I would just like to speak with him.
Well, he'll come around.
Okay.
He has obligations all over the city. So do bear with him. And he's dealing with the fact that he's up for election next month.
Oh, I see. Quite important stuff.
Mm-hmm. So just bear with him. Bear with us as well.
Quick out of character question. Was it the deputy director who offered to walk people back to the tavern?
They never offered to walk him back. Just walk him outside of the building.
Oh, out the side. Okay.
Yeah, Beetle walked by himself. Did you think that he was with the deputy director?
He has better things to do.
Yeah.
Like, apparently, spy on beetle bathing.
Apparently so.
After specifically pointing out that sodomy is not okay.
Specifically.
No.
And incest.
He doesn't like his job for a reason. That's the only way they can keep him sober. They have to not like what they're doing.
So, the person just gestures to the room, to the three of you.
I enter.
Sure, I'll go in there.
I'm going to look around. Do I see anything suspicious about the room?
Don't really see anything suspicious, but you do recognize the guard that initially brought Beetle in. He's coming in and guiding someone else through the office, or through the front room.
Keep my back to the window, or however he's able to see in here, I'm able to see out.
Okay. So, you just go inside, all of you?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So, you guys
I'm just
have...
gonna go ahead and sit in the chair with my back to the door.
There is only one chair.
Okay, then I sit in that chair. And I face the door in it.
Alright.
You detected anything strange about this place?
It seems like a standard interrogation room. It's actually nicer than the interrogation rooms in Imperia. They're really actually, they go out of their way to be very caring to the people in here.
At least they don't have spears inside of a building.
Is there anything else in this room? Is it just the table and the chair?
Table and a chair.
Just the table and a chair. I'm gonna roll strength to see if I can pick him up while he's sitting in the chair.
All right, go for it.
14.
What's your current strength?
I don't have any pluses.
11, so no pluses.
It's a 14.
Hold on. 11 strength carry weight.
Carry weight is strength times 15, I believe.
So that would be 165.
I'm just making sure because there's actually different numbers.
Yeah, carry capacity is, I have 14s, and my carry capacity is 210.
All right, so you're able to go ahead and pick Ein up in the chair, and you realize that you're no longer planted on the ground.
And I'm gonna put him on the table.
Just also remember that includes all of my carry weight, also my body weight, and all of his carry weight. So that might actually still totally exceed it.
You might be able to push though, because push is
True. Push a lot, yeah.
double.
Just roll with it. We'll look it up later.
Sweet. I'm gonna put him on the
Actually,
table.
it does say a character can lift as much as double his or her maximum load off the ground, which means that if he can lift like even 140, 150 pounds, he could, like even if he can carry, he can lift 300. So there's no way that I and all of our stuff combined would weigh that much. He just can only stagger around. It's like, you know, holding someone up like this and trying to walk through the house. It's not fluid.
Beetle's just gonna pick you up and put you on the table. It's not like he's gonna carry you around.
No, I know. So you're picking me up out of the chair?
Yes.
Putting me
While you're in the chair, sitting down, and Beetle's gonna go whoop, and then pick you up and put you on the table.
The moment you do that, I just kind of like put I go ahead and put my like just like this, like you know, hand looking forward and across my legs and just kind of look at the door. I'm just sitting on the chair, on the table, looking important, looking at the door.
Laura, look, it's my best masterpiece to date. Throw back to the sculptures.
I'm just waiting and I'm like stroking my non-existent beard.
No other comments, no other words?
Nope.
No, just silence.
All right, about half an hour passes in the silence before what you recognize as the deputy director walking into the room, looking over your friends. Oh.
You're welcome.
This is unacceptable. Walk with me. Just opens up the door, motioning at the three of you to follow.
Good luck getting down from that table line.
Oh, no idea why they went ahead and put you in that nasty job room.
Is anyone moving to assist me down from my throne?
Do you need to be assisted?
There's a throne, damn it!
Come on.
I take your hand and majestically step down onto the table and hop to the floor. And just walk after the person.
Okay. He leads you through the front door and just starts walking you guys through the city. So, you are Mr. Barnabas's friends, yes?
Is he speaking in the language I understand?
He's speaking in Celestian.
They're his acquaintances.
So, you all came to the city improperly, from what I've gathered.
We were trying to avoid the giant army that seems to be around here, surrounding the city.
Any reason you went for the inner city? I've already heard Barnabas's side, but how about your side, madame?
We were asked to come by Jewel to find out why exactly Lullin has gone quiet with them. Why have they haven't been in communication?
All I know is that they've been banned. We've just been banned from communicating with Jewel.
The person banned them. Why was there a banned place in the first place?
Oh, you would go ahead and be with the politicians.
would there be something for us to speak with them so that when we return to Jewel, we can let them know what's happening?
Well, if you know someone, then yes, there's a way to go ahead and talk to them. But they're a little divorced from the interests of the people.
Beetle's just talking to himself in Infernal. This is at this time, just muttering to himself, like, "Of course, we don't need to know what's happening in Jewel. It's not in Lullin. It's not important at all. Why go to the political district?"
Inside check.
Blah, blah, blah.
24.
24.
You see that the guy is looking back, and you kind of get a feeling he's following what you're saying.
Oh, he also speaks Infernal?
I forgot to ask, what is the guy? Is he even a tiefling or what?
You see that he is an elf.
Oh, okay.
You can understand me! In Infernal.
He just speaks in Celestian. Oh, of course.
Oh,
I was.
ignore me!
Oh no, it's very obvious you're the only one who can speak that tongue.
Yup. They don't understand a single word I'm saying right now.
It is often considered rude, though.
Of course it's rude. I'm just frustrated because they wouldn't listen to a damn thing I said. They're not interested in finding out what happened. Until now, apparently, when it's their own idea, but okay. I'm gonna speak back into common Celestine. I'll stop.
Oh, Celestia.
I was speaking in Infernal to that dude the entire time. So neither of you understood me.
I completely understand the frustration, but like we will still require us to be as polite as possible.
My apologies.
Well, I think it's more apologies to your friends here.
They get no apologies. Look at Laura.
Can I just hear wah, 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 like I'm hearing the teachers from Charlie Brown, like right now.
So, I didn't get your name, madame.
Laura.
Laura. Just Laura?
Just Laura. That's how I tend to go.
Alright, just Laura. However, you wanted to know if there was more to find out in regards to the politicians and the crazy antics?
Well, technically, we were asked to find out what the status of Lullin was and why and if they were still up, if the siege had been broken or not, and then to report back.
Oh, the siege is still ongoing.
Mm-hmm. Our job technically is done, however, if there's any way for us to gain more information without causing any major disturbances or trouble.
What were you hoping to go ahead and tell them?
Well, a reason for why we found off would be very good.
Yeah, banned.
Yes. And that leads to the question of why was it banned?
Yes, I would recommend to start making friends with politicians then.
Mm-hmm.
Dirty business, isn't that?
Oh, very dirty business depending on the hour. By day there's all sorts of dirty deals, and in the evening there's going to be a lot of dirty things happening to the physical form, if you will. I would recommend to not indulge that. Perverts, a lot of them.
Understandable.
But if you want to catch them with their pants down, the evening would be the best time, though.
I can imagine.
Literally and figuratively.
So who exactly are the key politicians of this area?
Yeah. One of the most important ones would be Irina. She is by far the most powerful lady of the court.
Arena?
Mm-hmm. Irina.
Oh, Irina.
Irina, okay.
I heard Arena.
They're spelled the same way.
No, like with an A, like Arena.
No. She is by far the most powerful. She goes, her last name would be Ragnarsson. Irina Ragnarsson. Though, don't piss her off. She's known to take her interest to a certain extreme. We haven't been able to find anything though. So, if bad things start happening to you, keep in mind, there's not much we can do about that.
I see. So you could say that most of the politicians here are rather dirty, if you will.
Oh yeah, very. There's not a good one. No such thing as a good politician. That's what I like to say.
Who would be the easiest to tell us why the ban was put into place?
Yeah, the easiest. You would need to go ahead and find someone who was actually in the committee that drafted the solution. They tend to have been in the government for a long time.
I see. Would Irina be one of these?
Yes.
Yes. Whereabouts would we be able to find her?
Oh, she actually lives in one of the government estate houses. You could go ahead and find it on 23rd Raging Bush Way.
Raging Bush Way.
You just see him just nodding.
Okay. Alrighty then.
Yeah, that's.
That
Yep.
was planned. Not a completely random accident.
Is it next to Is it next to aggressive Herp Avenue?
No, but it is next to Aggressive Hump Avenue.
Oh, Hump Avenue. Sorry.
Okay.
And then there's the Dirty Pump Lane.
Avenue.
You can guess these politicians have a bit of a one-track mind when they come to planning the city street names.
That certainly explains why it's called the political district.
How funny. Sex repressed to sex crazed.
Yeah.
Now, would Irene be participating in these activities at night?
Irina. And yes. Every politician engages. It's one part hazing, if you will. One part break people into the inner circle. And on top of that, everyone gets a dirty secret, so everyone has a little bit on each other. Keep everyone honest.
I see.
Until it comes to talking to the public.
Very good then.
Out of curiosity, are these all just public?
Oh, it's generally a public invite. But some of them are more private and exclusive, but they're usually indulging in more ethically off-color practices.
Well, I got through on that wisdom save, so fuck it. I want to know more about this.
You just say, I want to know more!
Okay, shit. Fuck. Okay. Out of curiosity, where would be the best place to find Irina during one of these events?
Oh, she hosts a lot of her own parties. So, it would be likely at her domicile. It opens to the public around 8 p.m.
Oh, very good then. Very good. Now, you also wanted to speak with someone from Imperia, I believe?
Well, I'm told that I want to speak with someone from Imperia.
I see. Well, you'll have to pardon my friend here. He's not fluent in Celesteia. However,
He immediately switches over to Empyrean, but it's very sloppy.
he could also do Elvish. Just so you know.
Yeah, he gets like a few words in, changes over to Elvish. So, I really have been told that we need to talk
So he's not speaking with me?
in Elven.
Alright, so yes. Hold on a moment. I go ahead and I say, yes, I actually have been meaning to speak with you. I don't entirely know what you all have been speaking of, mainly because I don't understand Celestian.
Well, apparently you're going to an orgy. And you're the
This
advertising piece.
is what happens when I allow them to speak without. Yeah. These are very bright people that I work with.
It was Laura's idea.
Of course it was. I'm a representative of Holy Imperia, and mainly our goal is to just leave. We were hoping that you might be capable of expediting the process.
For the record, you got an insight of 3 on his joke.
On what?
You got an insight of 3 on him joking.
The fact that you're making a joke about the orgy and everything.
Yeah, so I still play it off. So, either way. I was saying, yeah, so either way, we mainly just need to find a way to leave. So if you could help expedite the process.
Oh yeah, I can easily go ahead and see that you are forcibly removed.
By me, as long as we are outside of the city. That is simply what we need to be.
Sure, when are we looking to make this happen?
Well, sooner rather than later.
That's not a helpful answer.
Hold on a moment. I speak in Imperian to Laura. You don't have any further business to do here, correct? Because I can have us ejected from the city right now, most likely.
I can speak with you in Elvish just fine.
Oh, yeah, true.
So Laura is just sitting there letting this
I look
happen.
at you and all of it, I'm like, so I can have us ejected from this moment, it would seem. Any particular business? Or do you really want your orgy?
If there's a chance for us to gain information, we should definitely consider it. However, it is true that our primary purpose in this area is just to find out why they had gone ahead and stopped communicating with it. It's been outlawed.
Funny that thing about being polite, isn't it?
He goes ahead and starts translating for you.
It being outlawed is very much so the reason. So therefore we don't need any deeper reason. Yes, we can go ahead and find a huge drug smuggling ring, or overthrowing of the city possibly, or a demon at the center of it all, trying to conquer the world.
Now doesn't that sound like a grand adventure?
He
Aren't
translates
we
for
here
you.
to find out what's going on?
And I go ahead and
I
just
think that going to
I
that-
sit and translate back. And the reason it sounds like a grand adventure, that's not why we're here. We're not here for a grand adventure, and I'm not even entirely sure why you are here.
I'm here for a grand adventure, excuse you. Why do you think I left Jewel to begin with?
Adventure, and we'll complete our mission then. You can do an investigation then if you don't want to follow us.
He speaks in Elvish. What was your mission? Just to find out what's going on?
Our mission, our mission was simply to discover what had happened to Lullin. Our mission was to find out if Lullin has been destroyed, and discover why communications have been cut off. Well, it being made illegal, that is why communications have been cut off. Lullin is not destroyed, and the communication has been made illegal. Boom, mission complete. We're simply the scouts.
You really are young, aren't you? How old are you? 12?
I'm 14 currently, and the issue here is it's not so much that, yes, I realize more is going on, yes, but it's not our problem. The thing is, I'm from Imperia. I've been sent here by Jewel to assist a group of people who are not part of any of this, to stop them from apparently starting a war, it would seem. But ultimately, we have completed our mission. More details exist. Fine.
If I had a soldier come up to me and tell me very little information, I'd be grossly disappointed at the initiative and consider that they were trying to undermine me. Just something to consider.
They're not soldiers. As far as I understand, they're mercenaries. You get what you pay for. And I'm pretty sure they're working for free for Jewel.
I'm more talking about you.
I wasn't paid either.
technically I'm being paid to deliver you, which I intend on collecting that whenever I get back to Jewel.
How about you, Laura? Aren't you a mercenary?
We have the important information we were told to come and collect. However, there's a chance for us to gain more vital information that might be worth something as well. On that same note, I'll also go ahead and make sure that my friend here is protected to at least some degree. It would be best if we gather information quickly and easily. The question is, what threats exist within the city that could compromise our survival?
Exactly, and the more information, the better for Jewel, don't you think?
I care little for you, I care about my job. And our own survival, you can't spend money if you're dead.
I agree for the most part with Laura. I don't care about Jewel. And honestly, Jewel's most likely going to get destroyed anyway.
He translates that for you.
If you think for 1 second
He's translating.
that Jewel could be destroyed by, I'm sorry, who's it with you? Imperia? You're dead wrong.
Well, the massive army that's sitting right outside the province would probably have a much easier time than that.
And if you think that we don't have necromancers and warlocks, you're wrong.
Again, it wasn't an undead army, it was a demonic army.
You're also afraid to use magic outside of your city.
And if you attack our city,
I'm not attacking your city.
who would exactly be destroying Jewel?
Information.
I'm gonna roll insight on Ein.
Alright, what are you trying to figure out?
I want to figure out what exactly, like, Ein's, like, motive here is. Like, is he trying to undermine this mission? Is he trying to hold back information from Jewel? I don't get it.
What did you get for insight?
Now I can go ahead and explain my history, whatever you see depending on the roll.
Hate myself. It's a 9.
Well, it's the surface, it's just surface explanations.
Yep,
Kyle.
that's exactly what I think.
so
I
your
agree with the soldier.
explanation sounds like I'm probably threatening Jewel and saying,
Yep.
yeah, you guys are basically fucked. Deal with it.
Just speaking crassly.
You know?
He has a strong belief in the military might of his homeland. And
You know-
you do know he's lived there for a year.
You know, I think I agree with this man here that you're an idiot and you're naive and you don't have any idea what scouts actually do.
He translates idiot into young.
Ah! I say, naive, yes. Young, yes. But I think I have a better grasp on military than you do at this point.
Oh, you think you have better grasp of military than I am? I had to go through intensive training just to be able to deliver mail.
And yet you couldn't identify an alternate dimension if your life literally depended on it.
I wasn't the only one fooled there, and I'm sure you know that.
Richard doesn't count, he's an idiot.
Laura, I agree with you. We should go to the orgy and figure out what the politicians are up to.
Well, I assume that's also translated, and I say,
Yeah.
well, then I guess I must join anyway, as it is my job to ensure at least one of you survives.
Well, actually, your job was just to deliver us here. Technically, your mission is complete.
Exactly, so there's no reason to have you around.
I'm the guide, meaning my mission is not to deliver you. My mission is to deliver you back with the information. Me returning with the information would be meaningless. I'm not a representative of Celesteia.
No, you're not.
I'm not a mercenary either. If I returned, then your mission would be complete.
So, what exactly do we have to be worried of within the city?
Oh, you're asking me?
Well, I assume you're an expert on this subject.
Oh, yes, yes. The city is generally pretty safe. So long as you stay out of certain parts of the city after 5 p.m., you'll generally be pretty okay. Though I would also recommend staying out of the back alleys because apparently the children are unnecessarily aggressive.
What, do they come at us with, like, sticks and stuffed animals?
They try to headbutt you in crotches.
Oh, okay. He just, like, subconsciously covers his own crotch, and he's just like, okay.
For no reason. It's not even about the money.
Oh.
That hit me harder than 600 years ago.
I'm the family jewels.
Heck, even if they miss, they just complain and they'll just file charges against you.
Charges for what?
Anything. Don't
Children
trust
are all
children.
monsters.
All of
Children
them.
are all monsters.
Every last one.
Every last one of them.
Especially if they're poor and homeless.
Oh, or maybe around the age of 14.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a murder district is here as well. How does that work?
Well, just don't be caught out after dark, and it's pretty much free game. We kind of told the public we won't be investigating any claims or any happenings between 5 and 7.
I see. And what would be the quickest route to the domicile?
The domicile. If you go ahead and head for the heart of the city, he points somewhat northeast, and then you head on one of the main roads north. You'll come across what looks like to be a much nicer part of town. You know how politicians are with their money, always spending your money on superfluous things. But you'll be able to go ahead and find many other arterial roads that will curve around to other places. You'll come across the road that you want soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't harass the help. They're not supposed to be talking to you.
Oh, I see. Now, so what about the walls here? You have an inner and outer wall, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, you are currently on the inner wall.
Mm-hmm. And what about travel between the two?
Well, if you were born in the inner city, you will live in the inner city, and you'll die in the inner city.
Mm-hmm. And if you're in the outer wall, are you able to come into the inner city?
You're allowed to come, but you're not allowed to leave.
Oh, okay. I see. So the best way for us to leave when we're completed is deportation, correct?
Yeah, it's a way of making sure that we know who you talk to, any pollution that you may have caused. It's more so that we can keep our peace.
So if I talk to Irina, would that go ahead and count as pollution to her?
No, you know how politicians are, above the law.
Of course, of course.
And they keep everything in-house. If there's a problem, they'll clean up.
Understandable.
It's more the common people. You don't go around saying, there's a war, there's a war. You just don't do that. Don't do that yet.
Alright, I can understand that.
So, make my job easy.
I actually have a question also that I've been meaning to ask. So it's been made illegal for communication with Jewel, correct? That's also what we're investigating right here. But the law in the inner city and the law in the outer city are effectively different. The people are treated differently there, and they're treated differently here. So why exactly is the outer city unable to communicate with Jewel?
There's no mages out there.
So it's been purely magical communication then?
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
so that makes sense then. Thank you for that answer.
Anything else I can help you with?
I don't know. Hold on a minute.
You've been most helpful already, thank you.
Virgil,
Do you have anything else?
Nope, absolutely nothing.
very good. So, if you need me, yeah. Knowing that you guys are going to be busy for the rest of the night. Actually, the orgy's already started, so you guys are going to be late to the party.
Ooh, fashionably late, I hope.
Oh, of course, so it seems. Well, remember my rule of thumb that I told you.
We'll be careful. I will absolutely not be going down any alleyways. I can't say the same for him, however.
Stay out of that.
I, the child.
Roll a perception check.
19.
You see a child.
Oh, I was eyeing the child.
Oh no,
but
there's
I
a
will
child
also
in an
want a
alleyway
child.
just even
Oh.
further behind.
I'm gonna do it right back. And I'm gonna motion a kicking motion at the child.
Immediately ducks away as the guard looks in that direction.
Just a filthy monster, don't worry.
That's all that we put down.
Awful idea. Well then, shall we be off?
Yes, I'll just go ahead and follow you. You
Oh.
can lead this one.
To the orgy!
I've been looking at your situation. I might recommend that you go ahead and stop at the fancy trinket shop.
The fancy trinket shop?
I highly recommend it. You go ahead and try to go ahead and all talk to them. I think they'll see a solution to your problem.
Which problem?
They'll hear the problem real quick.
Ah, I see.
Where exactly would that trinket shop be?
It's just outside the political district. I mean,
Thank you very much.
yeah.
I don't understand what's the problem.
These are still translating for you.
I really don't.
You can do an insight check.
Insight check.
I
12?
He emphasizes that. Oh, the translation problems will go away soon enough.
I see! Alright, cool. Let's go to the fancy trinket shop. Out of character.
Out of character, it seems Jacob's finally getting annoyed with the fact that everything has to be translated.
No,
Oh, wow!
you guys are actually in a proper city. So it's your first opportunity and someone sees your problem and people tend to be helpful? Surprise?
Yeah, Jacob is getting frustrated with the translation problem.
It's a trap.
It's a trap!
The only people that try to help end up burning the whole world down. Ask Jaden. Alright, let's continue.
Okay, so on our way there, do we pass by the tavern or is it a different route from where we are now?
You could go the route of passing the tavern if you'd like. You can take a different route. It's up to you.
Okay, I'm gonna pass by the tavern and drop all my weapons off and heavy armor and everything because I have no reason to go there onto the fucking lead.
Oh, you're coming back and deciding to stay again?
Oh, yes, that's for a while. Actually, we're about to head right back up. I just thought I would be carrying so much heavy stuff around.
Do you require anything for your night out? Which district are you heading out to?
The political, actually.
Oh, with your big studly thing, yes?
We're acquaintances, but not that close.
You see him digging around under the thing, under the counter. Pulls out a box, and you see him pull out what looks like to be a bit of a dead-looking canvas bag, and offers it to you.
A dead-looking?
It's like blackish and charred
Oh,
and
it's
messy.
old.
Yeah.
Condom.
What?
Wow! Really going for that
Wow!
I know exactly what this is.
energy. Give this to your friend. Tell him go ahead and have a quick drink. Extra for extra long time.
Oh, I see. It's Viagra.
Just a sip, you'll be fine.
So
What is
as you
this?
go back out, so Laura's still holding this pouch,
What you got there, buddy?
and you hear just sloshing around on the inside.
I'm assuming you have some idea because you were next to me when this conversation
Was I?
Oh yeah, apparently.
Oh, I assumed that he went in that Laura went in alone.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
okay. That works.
that's canon now.
It's something that's really helpful for people like you. Enjoy.
Deception and insight.
Oh, that's a nat 20 for insight.
That's a 19 for deception.
Well, with your nat 20.
Yeah, like the
Yeah, you see straight through Laura. She is playing a joke on you.
Are you roofing me? You know, I'm willingly going to this orgy to have sex with people. You don't have to lure me in.
Oh! Wow!
Beetle's gonna deck Laura.
Alright.
This is the Empyrean spy.
Okay, go ahead, roll.
I'm gonna deck the hell out of Laura right now. That's an 11.
Plus.
There is no plus to my strength.
Alright, Laura, you just get out of the way as you almost, not even nearly get decked. But, Beetle apparently took a great offense. Wow! Laura, you've been hanging too much around 9.
Oh, that was too easy not to do. I mean, come on.
Wow!
Wow.
Hanging too much around Ian, except he hasn't actually said anything remotely racist yet this whole time.
I also like the fact that I said that out of character, and just like, oh my god, you said that.
I didn't hear you say OOC or anything.
Correct.
You said it in
Yeah, you said it in character. So
You have to say OOC before you
you
speak
said
out of
it.
character.
You said it in the voice too. I
Yeah.
mean,
So I was like, wow.
you
Laura's
said it in
Laura's
Laura's
racist
voice.
now.
So now Laura's racist. Wait. First, let me say, Laura, this entire game has never been a closeted racist. Laura's been a pretty open racist this whole time.
This is kind of true. This is kind of true.
No, she's just been snobbish.
No.
The reason that Beetle is positive that like as evil as it gets is because of the translation errors.
It's not translation errors. It's intentional assholery from Laura.
I remember that Empyrean camp. There were when you translated specifically to Beetle, I remember a few choice words I didn't use very specifically.
Which ones?
I don't remember what they were. I just remember they existed.
Yeah, be more specific.
It was like backhanded slapping every other sentence.
That's
basically what it was.
Perfect translation of what I was saying.
But it wasn't. I know it wasn't. Out of character.
No.
So, with
Yep,
all,
so Beetle just attempted to deck Laura on realizing that he misses. He's just gonna unscrew his flask, drench Laura in the whiskey, and then walk away.
When I see this happening, I kind of stare at the side.
you're going to dodge the whiskey.
Yep.
Roll.
15.
17.
Wait, should that be Dex?
Definitely.
I would say 17.
All right, you get covered in your shirt, on your face, your hair. You have the smell of whiskey and fire whiskey. Of whiskey and fire whiskey.
I laugh and go, oh, poor Richard.
You are now out of whiskey.
That's fine. I still have the expensive line.
Fair enough.
My characters seem to always just be like on the edge of all these blast radiuses. That explodes, the stalker explodes, covering everyone in crap. I just happen to be behind Laura, who is on the edge of the explosion radius. So, like, I'm the only one who doesn't get anything on me. Agumon constantly just moves one seat over as vomit, piss water, crossing all over, just not quite reaching.
fair.
That was out of character in case anyone didn't notice. Remember, before you speak our character, it's OOC.
Just don't speak in your character's voice, and then it will very clearly be OOC.
Well, it's canon now.
Anyway,
It sounds like my voice normally.
oh,
That's
fair.
not the difference.
Okay.
Effort.
Effort! I hope you enjoyed that fancy trinket shop. Now, let's go!
So, do you guys discuss what happened on the walk, or just go straight to the shop?
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's this about? Oh, we don't need to investigate. It's gonna be fine. Did you get a wild hair up your ass or something?
Who are you speaking to?
Laura.
Well,
Laura.
I was completely honest. We don't have to investigate, but if we can gain additional information, it's all the better.
It is. It absolutely is.
I just wanted to make sure it be done safely.
That being said, I'm incredibly excited to no longer have you translating.
I assume that I don't have. We still need a translator for this moment, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know what's being said.
I'll be happy to. It would be a lot less work for me.
So,
You gotta remember that, well, Laura's been up for almost 6 days straight at this point.
Oh my god, Laura needs to take a nap. Why is Laura focused on doing anything but taking a nap right now?
Because I just had a huge coffee with a ton of caffeine in it.
Oh, that's fair. Oh, Laura, maybe you'd like to try this. And I'm gonna pull out the black powder cocaine that dude gave me.
okay.
And I'm take just a little bit of it out of the bag and hand it to Laura and be like, the guy told me that you could stay up for days with this.
You do remember that they went ahead and said it's best to try not to indulge in our vices when we're here.
Is this your vice?
No, however, I think it's best if I avoid things that might alter me in too many ways.
You know what? That's fair. I'm gonna put it away. That's it. That's all Bill's gonna talk about.
Laura, I, or nothing.
I just feel like I immediately recognize the crap that I sniffed from a bucket from a street vendor and just kind of shudder. When I see that stuff come out, I just shudder.
I'm gonna do one more check on that knife that I have. Pull it out and take a look while we're going to the trinket shop.
Alright.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope. It's a resounding 12.
Alright. So, as you guys arrive at the shop, you see that it has a number of weird decorations all over the place. It's like someone decided to grab random objects and just throw it at the wall and kept whatever stuck. You see sideways signs, you see what looks like to be a crossbow bolt that went through the window, but none of the glass actually broke. You see what looks like to be someone who was blown apart in a dozen directions, but they were actually imprinted into the window as well. It looks photorealistic. If not, might be very real.
Is he dead?
As you look closer, you see that the material is actually actual flesh.
The window's made of flesh?
The window, it has flesh with glass around it, but you see, as you're close enough, you can't see through it, but it's just flesh connected to glass.
I'm gonna poke it with my rapier.
Okay. It cuts.
Is it bleeding?
Yes.
Oh, that's freaky. Put that away. Okay, I've had enough of that.
You hear just...
You don't feel so bad. I didn't mean to like hurt. The window's screaming at me?
Understand it.
No.
Is the window screaming at me?
Yes, the
window
person that's
itself.
like mostly blown apart in a million pieces is screaming. You see his eye just turning and looking right at you. His one eye. That you can
I
see.
was poking the window. I thought you said the window was made of flesh.
No, the window has like a person imprinted in it.
Oh,
which is
Whoops.
what. And
Gentle poke, not a stab.
he's
by the
just
way.
crying and asking, why? Why?
I thought you were fake!
What was the person originally?
Hmm?
What was the person originally?
Looks like a naked human who is just blown asunder and stuck to the window and is now part of the window.
Oh, that's terrifying. Just gonna walk directly in and ignore the screaming window.
As you walk in, you see a laughing goblin as he's smoking a long, long pipe. And you just see stuff just littered all over the place. It almost looks like a junk shop, but you notice that there are some beautiful items, such as like a golden vase that seems so well crafted with jewels decorated around. There is a number of weirdly shaped swords that are just bent in the weirdest locations. You see a shield that is just emanating a glow with a singular halo on it. And you see unfamiliar writing, well, somewhat unfamiliar, not as unfamiliar as it used to be. Ein, you recognize that the writing is almost ancient Imperial on the shield.
Like almost like, as in, do I recognize any of the words, or?
You recognize the lettering style, but a lot of the letters have fallen out of favor with the church in many of their modernization campaigns for literacy.
Would I be able to kind of attempt to pronounce them based on the,
Oh yeah,
like,
it just
there's most similarities or whatnot?
it just translates or is said vaguely as Grand Apostle Angel.
Interesting. Grand Apostle Angel.
You just see him just laughing at you. His eyes are just totally squinted, and he's just nickering.
Just fucking...
And just fills the room with just smoke as he's breathing out.
I just go ahead and pull up my phone over my mouth.
Does Beetle recognize the smell?
No.
Oh. Weird. Good joke, wasn't it?
You tortured someone?
I certainly did. See, our friend sent us here to relieve a bit of our translation issues.
You can't talk. Is that the problem?
You
sound like you talk a lot. How about you, good lady? Or are you from the land? Parents, a pretty young lady such as yourself. From talking.
You see that he's like a short, goblin-y creature. His ears are just like weirdly bent back, and you see like heavy earrings on both ears, just helping it droop even unnaturally further.
I think my main problem is that I have to talk too much in this situation. No, it's more to do with translation errors we're having.
Translation errors. That is the worst. Have you considered reading a book? I like to think that's
I
funny.
think I can help with comprehending other languages.
Oh, yes.
I can definitely help with comprehending a language. You see him just get up and just start tearing through all of his stuff, just throwing things all over the place. He does not take care of his shop in the slightest. Eventually, he pulls out what looks like to be a giant bag of Lord knows what. But you hear like clanking of metal around, kind of like in your pouch, but a lot more broad. He takes it over to the desk and he just brings the bag down, and you just see spilling of gold and jewels and even a crown and a weird scepter-looking thing.
This is where the dragon's sword was stolen from.
Pulls out what looks like to be a ring. He goes ahead and speaks very quickly, and you can tell that it's Goblin. Does anyone speak Goblin?
Nope.
Nope. None of us do.
You all but you hear the Goblin words, but you seem to understand what he's saying.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. Testing. Who understands?
Oh my goodness, that's amazing!
Tell me, is your voice your passport?
Well, no, I got actual physical document for my passport, but I'm not allowed to leave the city anymore, so oops.
Oh dear.
What'd you do?
I answered it.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh, am I hearing you loud and clear? How are you doing this?
How am I speaking in Goblin?
Pretty clearly the ring,
How
Laura.
can we understand?
Oh, it's because of this ring.
I see.
And whoever happens to hear the words of the ring bearer, may he be all ever understood by those who are so fortunate to hear him speak.
Oh, I know a perfect person who would be unfortunate to hear speak. We should stick it on Ein.
He walks over to Ein while you're looking at the shield.
Okay.
But you do understand the Goblin. Like, you comprehend what's being said, but you don't recognize any of the words. Just you understand what the message.
That's interesting. So, is it,
Goes ahead, puts it in your hand,
I take it. So, is that what this thing does?
and you understand. You comprehend what he's saying, but not understand the words.
Good God, finally.
And I understand what he's saying.
Wait, is this supposed to be comprehend languages? Because that's what because it would include me being able to understand it word for word.
Not necessarily.
What do you mean not necessarily? I'm checking that.
But to answer your question, you do understand what's being said to you.
Okay. This makes it so much more convenient to be able to speak with you directly, Beetle. Okay, so how much for this ring?
I would say a good 500 gold.
500 gold.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and give you 500 gold via the Imperium exchange rate. So here's about, what would it be, 20 emeralds? I'll go ahead and hand it 20 emeralds.
Persuasion check.
Alright, my persuasion, and since he's been able to at least comprehend any conversation going on here, that would be, he also needs to do an insight check. So we're on character sheet. So what's his insight? What does he get for insight? And it's versus my persuasion at plus 10. Shit.
You got an 8 in your persuasion, and he got an 18 in.
Okay, so that wouldn't be a factor. Alright, so then my actual persuasion then here, roll that one, because the first was for charm.
2.
Really? Only a total of 12? Oh well.
I think we can go ahead and do a little better. Tell you what, 500 gold. I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and say 300 more gold.
So you're saying that you're going to accept the exchange rate of 10 to 1.
Well, I gotta go ahead and sell these off somehow, and that takes work. And anyway, I would rather be here enjoying my whatever the fuck this is. It's fantastic.
How about 15 to 1?
I'm sorry I have to insist on 10 to 1.
Fine, I can give you 50 emeralds then.
He takes the total of 50.
Alright, ring is all yours.
Alright, put it on.
He just walks away, dumps all the emeralds on top of the stack of gold, and he just starts wrapping it up, tying it up.
Got anything else interesting here?
Well, it depends what you're looking for. I got a little bit of everything.
Do you have anything that can make me more dexterous?
Yes!
Yes.
What do you value most in this world? Your father's love?
Couldn't care less.
What do you actually desire?
Strength, power, usual things.
What? Those are ideas! Physical things!
I'd like a better loot.
A better loot.
Of course, I've had this one for quite a while. I think it's about time I traded up.
Oh, I think I can help you there. So the guy walks over to what looks like to be a cabinet. He opens it, and you just see dust. Pulls out what looks like to be a couple of different instruments, violins. You see a wooden flute, and eventually he takes out what looks like to be a lute. And you see it has a very curious design, more ergonomic for how one could hold one. Seems to be very delicately and lovingly crafted. As he's just turning it around, letting you go ahead and see it, he offers it to you.
Alright.
He just stops for 1 second, shakes some of the dust off, gives it to you.
Okay, take a look at it.
All right. Look around. Investigation check.
Investigation check. 20, not natural.
As you're looking around inside, you see at the inside of the lute, just in one of the indents, you see handwriting that you haven't seen in years. Property of the Barnabas household.
What? Oh, you've got to be kidding me! This used to belong to my family.
Oh, no, it's mine.
And how did you come across it?
Inherited.
From who?
My father, of course.
Oh, and your father got it where?
From his father. It's been in that family for a few generations.
Well,
But
this is.
no one apparently likes fancy loots.
Ah, I see. So I suppose it wouldn't be worth much to you then.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't say that. I mean, at this point, it's my family heirloom.
Well, what would you be looking to get out of it?
I don't know. Let me go see what it was originally pawned off for. Okay?
Okay.
Goes ahead, goes behind his counter, takes out a book, opens it up.
That's what I thought. So, let's go ahead and start the bidding at 4,000.
Oof. You see, that's quite a bit. I don't
You're
have
very
that.
welcome. To go ahead and not pay it.
I'm gonna look at Ein and go. So now that we can actually talk, what is the exchange rate of jewels to coins? Because Laura's been absolutely no help.
Fine.
You good, Kyle?
Sorry. What's up? I'm just trying to deal with some stuff right here, so. What? As far as I know, Max has mostly just been trying to purchase something, so what has been spoken to me that my character...
4,000 gold for Barnabas family heirloom that this goblin family stole.
No, what exactly is he asking?
Uh,
How much?
4,000?
4,000.
That's.
I go and I look at it. What exactly is it?
It's a family heirloom from whenever.
I mean, what exactly is it?
It's a
What is-
loot. It's a loot.
Is it magical, sir? Does it have any special magical properties?
Oh, it is said it can inspire a dragon to give up its own horde, or to turn the spirits of a corrupt politician to that of a righteous path.
I'm gonna try an insight against his potential deception.
Beetle's laughing his ass off because he knows exactly what this poor goblin's been tricked into.
11.
I got an 11 plus 3, or he got an 11. What about
You got an 11.
I just need to know, like, I don't need to just know.
You kind of get that he believes what he's saying.
You said this was pawned off?
Oh yes.
I have some bad news for you. That's a regular loot.
Yeah, by stats.
Oh no, it's not by stats, it's by facts. You see, my family, we used to be some pretty great bards.
Legendary.
Legendary, in fact. It was the person who, what's the name on that loot? Is it
Just says Barnabas household.
It just says Barnabas household. You see, my family used to own theaters. In fact, we were the greatest bards around. It was us that could do those things that you were talking about, not the loot.
Persuasion check.
I'm gonna assist because, I mean, that's what bards do, so I'm saying that is what bards do. So advantage.
Persuasion, that's gonna be 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's gonna be 21, not natural.
And then you get 2 rolls from her.
2 rolls? 21, not natural.
Nice.
Do you need the advantage?
Well, that would be most unfortunate, but we did spend a pretty penny on it, so.
So, being that I'm not the person that pawned this off, and, now you know the actual truth of the loot, I'm very sorry that my, grandparents tricked you. That's very unfortunate. Perhaps I could give you something that's actually worth something in exchange.
Break out.
So, there was a poem that, what would be more worth it?
I was gonna walk over to Beetle and very quietly just kind of nudge Beetle's side and motion to whisper in his ear. Say, what about an original? And I was supposed to be like, what about an original composure by the newest member of the Barnabas family? No one else would have that.
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. In fact, I've been working on something.
Oh,
There was a little girl that we recently ran into, and I've written an ode to her. In fact, I hope that it comes to fruition and that she becomes a great warrior. That being said, this was for the tiefling girl that we met. Should I roll performance?
He tells you,
okay, wait, use the loot.
Of course, and I will use the loot from my family.
oh no.
I
Don't say it.
Please help me. Please play with me. Please play with me. It's not a natural one, but it's not great. It's not a
I
nat
want
one.
my child to give advantage here and help out in this performance.
Did it get worse?
It got worse. It got way worse. It got way worse. It's okay. I'll just 8. I'll take the 11. That's fine. All right. So. Oh, I have I have expertise in performance. So it's with my charisma bonus. That's +8 to performance.
That's still a 19 performance. That's not by any means a bad performance.
No. The 11 was with my performance.
How did you
Bonus. I got a 3. I got a 3 the first time I rolled, and then I got a 1 the second time I rolled.
I'm impressed.
Because the world hates me. Okay.
So as you start to play, you notice immediately that the strings feel much better than your lute. It seems to give a not only cleaner vibration, but almost has a bit of an angelic sound to it as you strum it. And so, start to sing.
On the wings of the eagles, with weapons at hand, she will then make her fight. She will then make her stand. You want me to
You
go
can
all the
keep
way
going
through
if you
it?
want.
Okay.
If you want, you can call quits at this point if you want, though.
I'll just call it quits at this
Okay.
point because it's gonna sound weird with no actual music behind it.
It's all good. No, but we'll go ahead and get you a loop for next time.
Okay, cool.
So-
I will bring a piano because I don't know how to actually play the lute.
No, we're getting you a loop.
Okay. I could learn the ukulele.
I have to say, I don't think Beetle is worthy of this lute.
But as you
It rejects him. It rejects him. That's
It
what
was the
happened.
dice. It was the dice.
So as you play the lute and the angelic music, it seems to almost consume even the sound of the cello, but it seems to almost naturally incorporate as if it was just always meant to be interwoven together. And as you sing, you see just the goblin just hand over his heart.
Oh my.
Totally
my.
left.
That really is a loot of the family.
It is.
1,000 gold.
You know. For that 1,000. Final offer.
How much is
I,
Ruby?
I look at Beetle, and I just gotta say, you owe me. And I go ahead and hand him 58 emeralds, 2 sapphires, and 2 rubies. And I say, this should more than cover it.
Hold on.
How much is a ruby worth? You never explained what the actual exchange rate
It's
was.
very arbitrary.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very arbitrary, but a jewel, a ruby is worth effectively probably.
How many sapphires?
2 sapphires, 2 rubies, and 58 emeralds. But at least a jewel is like copper is emerald, silver is sapphires, ruby is gold. Effectively, so like 1 ruby is probably almost 1,000 emeralds. If not like 500 emeralds a jewel.
It's just a little like weird because like this whole time we've been like talking about money, but like there's never been an actual
He looks.
mechanic.
It's not consistent.
So
He looks.
it should probably be fixed.
He looks over the emeralds
10, 20, 30, 40, 50.
and gets to 500. Gets to the sapphires
25, 50.
and 2 rubies.
And 100, so that's 650. You're 350 shy.
And I'm gonna hand him what else do I have left? 30 emeralds and 2 sapphires. I think that's how many I have left. I told you.
So you.
I did 58 emeralds, so it would have been 580 emeralds.
Oh, you gave 500. You gave 58.
Yeah, 58.
All right, so that would be.
I'm gonna give him the ruby that I have, and then I'm gonna give him
Hold on. So that would bring the total
4 of the sapphires.
58, 680, so 730. So 270 shy.
I'm just gonna give him
27 emeralds or whatnot.
27 emeralds.
All right, you hand over 27 emeralds. He counts it all, double counts it, triple counts it, puts it all into his pile. It's all yours. I hope you enjoy it.
I will.
And as for the record, it does give you a bonus of 2 to your charisma,
Sweet.
and it buffs ups your performance by 3.
Sweet. Okay.
That's another +4 on your performance. Very nice.
Yup.
And
Wait, you
it
said was
looks
3 performance
it looks
bonus?
like it's in pretty good condition. Just needs a little TLC in terms of cleaning.
Okay.
Oh. The mending cantrip, would that actually fix it up at all, or is it literally just need a little buffing?
It just needs buffing.
Okay.
A little more than prestidigitation does, considering it's mostly an illusion, and it'll go back to its original condition in an hour.
I don't know about you, but I think it's time to go to the orgy.
Well, I still have one more customer. Looking at Laura.
Well, that's quite fine. Let's head to the orgy and get this taken care of.
Very good, very good.
Come again. So, as you guys leave, it is time for another break. So, we'll be back shortly. And we are back. Hooray. And now, as you guys are leaving the shop, you see the road that leads up into the political district. You see that the moon is very weirdly covered up tonight. Instead of like a crescent moon, you see just one section just completely just flat out black, and another section is just like a weird black stripe through it. It's just very weird. It's about
Beetle's not phased. He thinks it's the work of the archmages.
It's also starting to approach 9ish p.m.
Oh, we're heading to the domicile, I believe, to find Irina. Alright?
Yep, Irina.
Irina. Okay.
23, Raging Bush. Lane.
Alright, so we gotta find 23 Raging Butch. I think that this is, the Angry Humping Avenue? Oh no, sorry, this is Aggressive Humping Avenue. Means it shouldn't be far from here.
So, as you go down the roads, you do find the main street. You see a bunch of servants just watching you guys. Some are just sweeping up their walkways. Some are raking their leaves. Some trimming their trees.
I say quietly to both of them, remember, don't talk to any of the help.
Oh, don't worry. I'm pretty good at following directions.
Eventually, you come to 23, Raging Bush. You see that there is a plaque outside that says, "Open invite from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m.
So I think I have a plan.
You see the gates open, you see that there is a couple of guards. They're just completely chilling. One of them sitting down on what looks like to be a table with a few different scraps of paper and what looks like to be like clothing line clips.
Like clothespins?
Clothespins. And you see the guard just looking at you guys as you are just standing right outside. They look over the three of you. So, what we have is crossdresser, demonborn, and lady friend. He's looking at Laura. So
I've never been called a crossdresser before, but that probably would be the most accurate if you really think about it.
you see that he's just taken back as you're talking.
Maybe he was talking about me. After all, aren't you the demon child?
If you were asking Furia, that would probably be their answer. I'm obviously saying this to you.
Is he?
He's a little perplexed by the fact that he's hearing one thing but understanding him. I'll go ahead and don't question it too much, but you're the crossdresser, alright? I paid you as a lad, but don't know if you're trying to go for like a ladyboy kind of thing.
It's more of just what I grew up with.
Oh, your parents raised you as a ladyboy. I understand. I don't judge.
Out of character. That word really, really bothers the player. Can you please not use that word?
Fair enough.
Thanks.
I'm as
Intriguing.
Hold on a moment.
Do 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 do.
Please subscribe. We're actually cool people.
We promise. I'm not at all singing copyrighted music.
Arena here tonight?
So yeah, is Arena here? We heard that she was quite the lady.
Oh, of course. Always. She's always here. Oh, she's usually preoccupied with other arrangements. Usually meeting other important people, of course. But gotta keep your doors open to meet the public and not so public.
Of course.
So, if are you guys here to participate? Of course you are.
Yes.
Can I get your names? We like to keep a log of who comes.
I'm Laura. Pleasure to meet you.
We need full name, Laura. Security.
Oh,
They fill out one. They fill out just Laura for what looks like to be a name tag. Puts it to the side.
Laura Ledrinhoff.
Spell it for me.
Leldrehk.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Laura, thank you very much for your help. And how about you, good sir?
Beetle Barnabas.
Peter Barnabas. Okay. Writes it down. He just hands you a name tag that just says B.
Oh shit.
It's just the letter B.
Okay. Just gonna.
And who are you? Crossdresser.
Yes, I'm Ein.
My name is Ein Callister. E-I-N, first name. Second name, Callister. C-A-L-L-I-S-T-E-R.
Very good. And he just writes the letter I on your name tag, passes it over.
That works. I accept it, put it on.
And you see that on the registry that they're writing down, it looks like a good list of maybe 3 dozen names in addition to yours.
If I glance down at the list and I recognize any of the names.
Ooh, do I recognize any? Oh,
You
did
both?
he hand him the list, or is it
No,
just
you
like-
just can look over.
Okay, I'm gonna look over. Do I recognize any of the names?
Investigation.
I'm looking specifically. Is Cal Huron or Agona? I can't pronounce that name. An impronounceable name there. Is Cal Huron here? Is what I really want to know. 18 on natural.
You don't see Cameron here.
No. Okay.
Josh? I mean, Laura? Are you looking for anyone in particular?
I'm just trying to memorize as many of them as I can.
Alright, investigation.
Okay. Shit. Oh, well, that's not a terrible roll. It's 13 plus... I don't think anything.
I think it's intelligence.
13 plus nothing.
Alright. You see that the names are very long and fanciful, kind of like your name. So, and you see that a lot of them have, like, the 5th, the 8th, the 6th attached to their names. And you can tell just by the names that it's a healthy mixture of men and women that are going to this. And apparently a lot of married couples. Or maybe siblings. I don't
I'm
know.
not the only one with a Dutch last name, my god.
It's kind of hard to tell considering the nature of this city. Very well. Just keep the name tag on you when you are out in the public area, and go ahead and when you happen to have a good time, go have a good time. Otherwise, welcome to our home. Move along. I mean,
Sweet.
I appreciate the sights, but come
Sweet.
on, go.
Beetle's gonna go straight up to the door.
So you go.
Up we go.
To go up, you see a butler immediately, just like in a traditional like suit with tails, just open it up, and you see just a beautiful warm glow just coming out of the house, and chandeliers, pathway upwards, and as you guys go inside, you can hear a slight, like violin just coming from possibly the rafters, but it might be magically created music. It sounds really fanciful. You hear some people talking upstairs. You hear a lot of hoopla a couple rooms over. Sounds kind of like a kitchen. The material is made out of marble and granite, literally everywhere. There is a velvet rug that is leading up to the upstairs.
So what does the politician's room look like in contrast with the rest of the town?
The actual building looks very humble on the outside. It does have itself made out of wood and nicer cobblestone. Like, they actually carved it down so that it's actually flat and has like a good edge, whereas the cobblestone in the streets, it's very bumpy.
So significantly better.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But on the inside, they are more than happy to share their opulence with your eyes.
Okay. So how are we gonna do this? Are we just gonna split up and start asking names?
Well, I'm not sure if that's the best method. Let's see what we can see first and foremost.
You see that there is a couple of people at a few doors downstairs, but they don't seem heavily armed, but looks like that they might be useful in a quick fight.
And do we see any of the major political seeming players, or?
No, you're all downstairs. You have yet to go to the main area for the event.
Oh, okay, well, let's head there.
Beetle's gonna go to the
Go
kitchen.
ahead and follow Laura for the most part. Though if Beetle's going to be practicing with his new performance material, I'm definitely going to want to watch some of that.
Well, you see Beetle immediately heading for the hoopla in the kitchen. There's a guard. He goes ahead, puts his hand up.
Sir, I must ask you to not go that way.
You see that he's a tiefling, but one of his horns, you see, looks like it's been like ripped off partially. You just see it terribly jagged and broken.
Failed that. Beetle's visibly shocked.
See that he's just a little crooked in his back, but he's still wearing armor, wearing the seal of the house, but rolled up sleeves.
What's going on in there?
Oh, we're just preparing a delicious feast. Don't worry, the model's not to be eaten.
The what's not to be eaten? I didn't
The
understand you.
models.
You spoke at the same time as me.
Models.
The models. Okay.
Remember, they're not there to be eaten. We're not engaging in cannibalism here.
Good.
It's for flavor in the eyes.
Okay. Beetle's gonna walk back over to wherever they're going.
We're going to the main event.
Alright, well, Beetle's gonna go there too.
So as you guys go upstairs, you see a hallway leading elsewhere where you see a sign posted. There's looks like to be a very heavy door. Looks like to be made out of maple of some kind. And the sign is pointing you down another hallway. You see a gate that is put up to block off another hallway. But it doesn't look like they put a lot of effort. It's just like
baby gate?
kind of like a baby gate. It's like, just don't come this way.
Okay.
Very clear. There's nothing down that
Don't
way.
go over this way.
I
Okay.
feel my inner
If you
road
wanted to jump over it, nothing's stopping you.
Nothing's stopping me? Okay.
But it's just like gentle nudge.
Yeah. I'm headed to the I'm not gonna dump anything, let's just go to where we need to go.
Beetle's not doing that yet.
Alright, as you guys follow the hallway, you see a couple of cats run by you, one chasing the other. And you see what looks like to be a small child also running by you, chasing after the cats.
Oh Lord. We know what children do.
The cats and wolves.
It's okay.
Foxes.
It looks like they're already preoccupied.
And as you're walking down, you see on the right, you see a door that is slightly open with another plaque. Leave those under 12 here.
Oh, looks like you'll have to be here on. We'll go in without you.
Yeah, I'm 14, so don't you worry about that.
It was a joke. It went over both your heads, apparently.
Or maybe Barnabas. And this is the moment that Barnabas realized. Or did not realize he's not as funny as he thinks.
Oh, no.
Nah, it's funny. Anyways, as you guys go a little bit further, you hear in one room just some very vocal moans, and you swear you can hear just like a lashing as well. But you hear some light chatter in the room to the right. And you see that there's another plaque saying meet and greets. Other. Bow, chicka, bow, wow.
Okay.
Probably the meeting would be a good place to start.
I think that, yes, absolutely.
So as you go in, you see that there's maybe about 7 people in here. About 5 men, 2 women, and they all just seem to be in 2 separate groups of 3 and 4, just having conversation. You see that there is a number of caps with different colored wines, and they are very clearly labeled: 1 plum, 1 cherry, 1 vanilla import extract.
It's just vanilla extracts.
Yes.
Oh my
And
god.
they turn it into a wine. Somehow. And you see that the darkest one is labeled melon.
Is
Okay.
labeled what?
Melon?
Melon.
Melon, okay.
Doesn't specify what kind. People are just talking and chatting. A couple of people look you over.
I'm gonna go over to one of the groups of people.
The bigger one or smaller one?
The smaller group.
Smaller group. It looks like to be made of 2 women and a man. And they all look up at you as they're just... One of them is sitting in a chair, just kick back, relax, leg up over her dress.
Oh, are they all just sitting down, or are they?
Another
standing
one
and
is
talking?
standing. The man is standing.
Okay.
Another girl is just sitting on the floor. You see that her face is flushed. So she's...
Already drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Looks like I've got a bit of catching up to do, don't I?
Take your time, B.
Oh, it's Beetle. I don't know why he didn't write the whole thing down.
And my name is Arthur, but you see, he has just AR on his name tag.
Perhaps he's illiterate.
No, it's all about giving some people a semblance of being able to disassociate from who they are normally. Be able to do something that they can't typically do. I mean, we're not going to see each other on the streets, more than likely.
That's fair.
So, why not be someone? You don't have to be Beetle. You can be B. What is B? Tell me who B is. What's B's story? And as you see that this guy's just kind of giving a quick coach of the lowdown of how things work here, and same with you, Laura.
Okay.
Though you as you take another look at your name, it's actually just Low.
So, that's how I get low.
Well.
What are they wearing, by the way, the people here?
A couple of them are wearing like clothes that you would see on like a normal person at a bar, like a low quality bar. It would be a couple of men. One of the women, she looks like a bit of a streetwalker. The other one almost looks dressed to the nines, almost like a princess. A couple of the men looks like that they are dressed like soldiers. And you actually recognize that one of them is wearing an Imperial officer uniform. Whereas the last couple just seems to be wearing just nice looking suits.
Okay. I haven't been able to pay attention. I'm sorry, so I'm just following what Laura does on this one.
Okay, well, according to one of them is wearing an Imperial officer uniform that you recognize.
Okay, so I would actually it's not an outdated uniform at all?
It's not outdated.
And it's full officer, like we're talking rank enough that they would understand
Corporal.
where I am from. Okay. Are they engaged with anyone else at the moment?
Oh, they're talking with a group of 3 other men.
Okay. Do they appear to be of anyone that worked for Imperia, or just that person?
Just that person. The other one seems just to be wearing a local guards type uniform, but more upscale.
Okay.
Yeah, he even comes with a hat.
I walk over to the man that looks like he's from Imperia, the officer. I tap him on the shoulder.
Oh, I didn't know that they let in lads as young as you.
I go ahead and very cautiously just pull up the hem of my the robe on the left arm and only pull a small amount of the bandage away to just reveal a bit of the emblem. And then
He just puts the glass away and he just walks out the door.
I follow.
And
No,
as
you
you start
terrified
following,
someone,
he just starts walking quicker.
Maybe you should try talking to him? I don't know.
I just kind of I motion for Laura to cut the guy off. Laura.
He's already out the door and he's just quickly just marching. And you just hear the thump, 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 thump of his boots on the ground. It sounds like that he recently had his shoes resoled.
How far in front of me is he? How far in front of me is he?
He got out the door pretty quickly before Ein caught your attention. So he's maybe a good 10, 15 feet, but he's just fast walking.
We're having another horse chase scene.
In a few quick steps, I go up behind him and grab his arm and go, Hey there, how are you doing?
He just aggressively pulls his arm away, not a word, and just keeps walking. And you just see his face is just blank, direct, not amused. And you hear the door just open quickly, slam, and just close shut, only to be opened quickly again as Laura makes chase. As the guy was asking you, who is B?
Well, you see, I think that B is a cave explorer.
Oh, caves. What? Tell me about the caves.
Ooh, I'll tell you about them. I've seen rats bigger than this table. I'm gonna point at the table that's got the wine on it.
Did you actually get a chance to
Taste them.
I don't eat meat.
Oh, that's unfortunate. It looks like they could handle quite a bit of meat.
Oh, it would be quite a bit of meat. In fact, it was several pounds of it.
What would it taste like?
Probably.
Was it smoky and bitter?
I bet it was more sweet and earthy. You see, they're underground for quite some time, so they don't need to use their muscles for running or anything. They live down there. There's not much competition.
No, I could never imagine anything like that. You see, I kind of grew up mostly as a blacksmith, you see. And I kind of had to work my way up in society by going ahead and, believe it or not, making horseshoes.
Ah.
There's an art to horseshoes, and it turns out that the rich people could go ahead and incorporate a jewel here and there. Have you ever heard of this city called Jewel?
Oh, fun story. I'm actually from there.
Oh, really, B? Mm-hmm. Well, it turns out if you take one of these jewels and put it inside the horseshoe, you can really mark up the price. And they are just giving away these jewels in Jewel. So I made frequent trips in order to go ahead and make these horseshoes.
I can absolutely see that.
So, Laura, as you see the guy, he's just still looking for the exit.
I'm following and confused. I'm pacing, but I'm trying to go a little faster to mostly catch up. And I just, once I get within low speaking range, I say, I'm not here to gather you or anything. I just want a favor.
He stops, turns.
That's a threat.
I look around and I say, you know who I am, right? I just simply want to... We're looking into how communications were cut off with a city called Jewel, Sky City. And you already have connections here. I simply want to possibly have an audience with someone that might be able to inform me of what happened. Who's controlling this city right now? I don't care what your business is. I have business of my own. My business is irrelevant to your business.
The person who's mostly in charge right now, his name is Liam Shortall.
I'm gonna insight that.
You don't know him. You've never.
I'm gonna insight to see if he seems like he's lying.
What?
You can't really tell. It seems like that. If nothing else, he's trying to get out of this conversation, get rid of you as quickly as possible. Whether he's doing it by telling the truth or not, it's hard to tell.
Liam Shortall. He's the person who's running the shit show right now. But, thing is, he can't form a proper coalition government. So, things aren't getting done around here. Okay?
Alright, you may go ahead and go about your business. I won't bother you further. And I just turn around and walk away.
He just looks at, gives you a harsh look, Laura. Like, you've seen pretty scared / pissed off Empyreans before, but seeing it from a older gentleman like him, it's very much of almost a murderer type look. It's as if he's trying to remember you. He turns and just walks away.
Can I do an insight check to see what he was looking at?
Sure.
Before? That's not good. Holy shit, that's a 19 plus 0.
He wanted to remember you. And I'm. There's no doubt about it. And you can reasonably insight that he is a high-ranking officer, and being seen in a place here would be very embarrassing. Not only to his rank and uniform, but to his station.
Hey, as I told him, I don't care. I just need to know what's up.
He doesn't know you, he just knows that you're with the church.
Yeah, that's all he knows.
And he's a high-ranking officer, and he's gone this long without fucking up, and it's been revealed that he fucked up. You don't get to that rank, and with your knowledge of Imperia, you don't survive that long and indulge in questionable behavior without taking some nasty, mean extremes to protect yourself.
Understandable.
Probably gonna try to kill us at some point.
Probably, but if he doesn't, I have no intention of revealing him. But attached to this knowledge could, you know what? I do have the message cantrip. And if anything happens, I can always just say, if he tries to capture us or something, I'd be like, I used message cantrip, but I won't tell you who exactly received it.
So, with that, do you guys go back?
What was the name of it? Yeah,
Liam Shortall.
Josh, you writing that down or shall I write it down? I'm fine writing that down.
What is it? Liam Shortall? Liam?
Yes.
Is it just short haul?
Yeah.
Okay. SHORTALL or HALL?
Hall as in...
Hallway.
Hallway.
Okay. Liam Shortall. Let's head back to the main room.
Alright.
I just...
Because R is giving his fanciful backstory, you realize that he is role-playing a certain role himself. He's having fun with it. Though it's obvious that he's more than happy to be flirting with you. Eventually the other girl, apparently, her name is... And apparently she's just a girl who's been told to shut up too many times, and she's acting out.
Poor shush.
Sounds like an abusive relationship.
It's oh my god, it does.
You could do an insight if it's real or not.
Sure. For 12.
You kind of get a feeling that she's role-playing as well.
Okay.
Everyone is pretending.
This is great.
You do hear Ein and Laura returning.
I am Laura returning. I was actually here to meet someone. Do either of you know I believe her real name is Irina.
Oh, Irina. Oh. Yeah, she seldom participates, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's a shame. I heard she was quite great in bed.
It's the rumors. But you want to know a secret?
Absolutely.
I think she just claims to partake just to keep public image. No, everyone hears it. Everyone has heard of the rumor, but no one dares claim to have had her.
That's
It's crazy.
that is crazy. I don't know why she would have to make up such a lie. I mean, it doesn't make much sense.
Political.
Ah, I see. Ah, politics.
If you don't
politics.
indulge
Well, are there any other interesting politicians here tonight?
I think he's already actually in the other room.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I think he's the one handling the whip.
I heard the noise. It did interest me.
Doing the whipping or being on the whipping side?
Being on the whipping side. I'm sure you know that tieflings have a bit of a knack for
Masochist.
pain.
Maybe we can arrange something. You, Laura, and you see that Beetle or Bee is getting very, very into this guy. R. So,
Have we overheard any of the conversation, or I assume we're at a distance?
you're a little bit of a distance. You guys haven't approached.
Okay.
Why are those two weirdos looking over? Are they looking for an invitation?
They're friends of
I look-
mine. They're probably curious as to what I'm doing.
Hey! Friends of B! Get your A's over here!
I walk over.
I'll walk over.
This is E.
Thank
Oh,
you very much.
I. Sorry, I misread your name tag the first
I'll be
time.
honest, he's a little young for my liking.
I don't blame you. It's young for me too.
No, it's now fine with me.
He's a little. I think he meant that he
I
wasn't
turn around
interested.
and walk away.
He thought you were propositioning him.
No, he said I'm fine. Like I'm good.
Like, I just, you know what? You guys can do your adult things. I understand my circles.
Do you go to the other group?
Sure.
So you walk over, hang around, someone puts an arm around your shoulder. Catcher or receiver?
Dun, dun, dun.
I just lift up like one eyeball, like the eyebrow is like only one eye squints, just like look up at him.
Settle
I
back.
go
So is
ahead.
it catcher or receiver?
I pull a dog out of my clothing.
Whoa! That is a no-go! No! That is unacceptable! No! Bad! You see him just grab
Are
you
you
and
a-
start taking you to the door, trying to forcibly remove you.
Most people don't know that Ein is not actually a person. He's just a bunch of dogs stacked up on top of him.
I mean, how do you think I got such a
Dogs
nice
stacked in a
size
coat.
In a kimono.
In a kimono.
still? In a kimono.
He's just
And-
four
Is
dogs in
it
a
a bunch
kimono.
of dogs who have got like one of those heads on a pole?
Oh my god. It's like
Ventriloquism.
master puppeteer.
Anyways, Laura, you see that Ein is being forcibly removed after he took out his puppy.
See, I thought
I duck around the person.
I thought that ring would fix the translation problem. It appears it made it worse.
No, he's just trying to physically remove.
No, for the love of God! Zoophilia is very, very, very illegal. It's not that kind of party.
I'm pushing past him. I've got a 12 strength, so
What?
it's a contested strength check.
What?
As you guys said, you both are tied as you're just trying to get around him and push back. He's just trying to push you away.
What did you say to him? Why does he have his dog out?
Oh, the dog is back in my clothes now. It's
Oh,
gone.
what?
It's
You
gone.
hear something about no zoophilia here.
The best part too, as a free action, I can put it into a pocket dimension. So if anyone even tried to search me, there's no dog.
That can't be good for his health.
No, absolutely not. Can he even breathe in there? What have you done?
Well, people die if you put him in like a bag of holding.
Oh yeah.
But it's a
People
familiar.
die if you put them in a bag of holding, and you tried to get Ein to put him Etarasu in a pocket dimension. I knew the church was trying to kill my son.
Oh my god.
Karma.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so R just looks at you, Beetle, and you, Laura.
Apparently, that is one of the many reasons I don't like him that young.
They're too curious.
I think he's just naive.
There's naive in going, let's fuck this.
Believe me,
okay.
he does not fuck that dog.
Okay, y'all guys.
Are you with him 24/7?
You know what? That's a good point. I've not seen him all day long. Eye fingers and eyeing across the room. I don't know if you can perceive that.
Insight check for Ein. It looks like that. It looks like that beetle's propositioning you now.
Oh my god.
In your perception.
Of course.
I just like shrugged, and I pointed at the person who kicked me away. Like I pointed at the person who pushed me out of the group and just shrugged.
The person just looks at the two of you.
No. I was giving him like the I'm watching you look. Does everybody fail insight on that?
The guy is just confused as Ein is like clearly mortified, and as he's just looking
I'm
over, it's the
mortified.
fact that you're just like staring hard.
Like,
But the thing
glaring.
is, I took it the worst way possible.
Of course I took it the worst way possible.
But you came in with Ein, so.
Oh no. Well, I'm glaring, and Ein thinks I'm being sexy, and the other person thinks, what?
He doesn't know, but he's still trying to push Ein out.
I'm gonna talk to the other person who's talking to Ein.
What
did you tell this-
Over here.
What did you tell?
Move over to Laura.
What did you
Do
ask
a little
him?
Spin thing to get around the person.
What did you ask
The
him?
person catches you and is holding you by the kimono, just trying to still shove you out.
What did you ask him before he pulled the dog out?
Catcher or receiver, can you settle a bet? And then he takes out the dog.
I believe he might have thought that you were talking about fetch.
Persuasion.
Genius.
20. Nat 20.
I literally, when
Got
Beetle
it,
says this,
19.
when Beetle says this, I pull out the stick.
With
from
my
kimono.
with my pluses, it's a 29.
That makes a lot more sense. But why does he have a dog at a sex party?
It's his familiar. He keeps it in his kimono. It just lives there. I never see it unless he actually takes it out. It's like it doesn't exist until he's like, whoop!
I say party tricks.
There's party tricks and then there's time and place, boy. Time and place.
Ein takes off his kimono and does a little couch position like a kangaroo.
He's just
It's
naive.
called shock
I don't
factor.
think he realizes what's going on half the time.
This is why I keep bugging Irina to fucking raise the, children not allowed age.
You know what? I completely agree with you. All children are monsters. That being said, if Irina set the rules here, where is she?
I think she's, in a master bedroom.
Okay.
I don't know. All I know is that, after the council hearing, she went straight home and needed to go ahead and take care of things. She didn't, dismiss the party, but she has yet to show her face.
I hope she's okay. Has
She's
anyone
not.
checked on her?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure the servants check.
Do they
I'm
though?
actually looking for someone as well. Liam?
Yeah, what about Liam? And yes, the servants are generally pretty good. You don't get to work here without stellar references.
Someone by the name of Liam Shortall?
And what about the, quote-unquote leader of Lullin?
I wanted to speak with him. I know he's not really the leader, as you say.
Hundreds of thousands of people want to talk to him, and hundreds of thousands want to kill him.
I don't know about you, but I'd like to be whipped by him.
I believe this. He talks about it all the time.
Well, if you're looking for, some fun, Ari's in that kind of area.
Great.
But no, Liam's not here. Why would he be here? He has coalition building to do.
Thank you very much for the information. Have a good day. Sorry for the misunderstanding.
Use words. Not whatever you think you're doing, because, kid, that's going to scare a lot of people here.
I mean, maybe that was the point. I wanted to see how you enjoyed fear. I just got like the straight face, wide eyes when I say that.
He just looks at you.
Beetle's walking away. He does not interested in whatever that was. Can only
People
save you
can
once.
die at these parties, so you're aware.
Oh, I'm right aware. I walk past.
It's just watching you carefully. So you're carefully making enemies of the entire room.
Yes.
So, Laura, do you do anything?
I let Ein out into the room. Isn't that enough?
Laura unleashed chaos upon the party.
Alright. So,
I'm just,
you guys can circle around for a minute.
Beetle's gonna kind of quietly leave. Should I roll stealth?
Yes.
Okay. What is? It's not great. Oh, there's an 8.
You kind of are very well seen by Ein and Laura as you're trying to slip out of the room, but you're now in the hallway. You don't see anyone in the hallway.
There's nobody in the hallway.
See, you still hear the violin music in the rafters, though. And
I'm
you
gonna
hear
roll-
a few more lashings in the room over.
So, Beetle, having lived in Jewel for a long time, is pretty well adept at figuring out whether something is magically created or actual music, because he himself is a bard.
Alright.
So, insight to see if that's regular. Oh, that's 17 natural, and that's with my +5 to insights over 20.
It is definitely magical in nature.
Definitely. Okay, so it's not a sad person.
It could be, from what you can at least hear from it, it's on not only just a loop, but it is reading off of a composer that you are vaguely familiar with. You studied their works when you were first learning your music.
Okay, cool. He's gonna go over the baby gate and try to find the master bedroom.
Alrighty. So as you start navigating your way through the house, do you just open random doors?
No, I'm gonna listen specifically for someone who appears there crying, or someone who might be talking to themselves in the room, or like pretty clearly this is probably a bedroom. And not likely a closet or a bathroom door. Like, you know how there's like closet doors and they're like thinner, and then there's like bedroom doors and they're like...
Roll investigation.
Okay. 21, not natural 20.
Alright.
So 18 for investigation.
As you navigate through the house, and courtesy of growing up in Jewel and being a postman, you've been able to be in a lot of very substantially wealthy homes and needing to bring things directly to people. So you have a general idea of where you can start looking. And as soon as you go on to a third level of the home, you come across what looks like to be a curved wall around a single area. And as you follow around, you do come across what looks like to be relatively normal-looking doors. It has but can be opened on both sides, so you can just open it.
Okay. I'm gonna knock.
You hear nothing for a couple of seconds, and a soft, "Who is it?" And with that, we're going to go ahead and call it a night. So, I hope you all had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. So, and with that, and to all a good night.
you.